It's game number 31 of the 2017 Xenia Scouts season here at home at Grady's Field this evening. First game of a doubleheader between the Xenia Scouts and the Southern Ohio Copperheads, set to start at 5:05 today, about 4 minutes from first pitch here at Grady's Field. Gabe Genovesi here with you alongside my partner Andrew Alix on the Xenia Scouts Radio Network. And folks, we have a little bit of an interesting scenario today. The Copperheads and the Scouts both at 15 and 15, 500 teams on the year. Both teams 2 games back of the Richmond Jazz for the final playoff spot in the Southern Division. The Jazz sit at 17 and 13. The Copperheads and Scouts tied for third. The Jazz sit in second place. But the interesting situation is this is a continuation of a game that was canceled due to rain in Athens earlier this year. That game took place back in June, a few weeks back, and the Scouts actually, because they were the away team that night in Southern Ohio back on July 7th, so we were a week into July, had runners on first and second with 2 outs and Chris Ackerman at the plate. So Ackerman will lead it off for the Scouts tonight, but he faces a 1-2 count already in this ball game. The Scouts have Kyle Casserly on second, Donald Ring on third, Ackerman down in the count 1-2, and that is where we will pick it up here today at Grady's Field. The lineup's almost the same. We have different pitchers on the mound for both teams. I mentioned the Scouts and the Copperheads both at 15 and 15. They're 3.5 games back of the Cincinnati Steam for first place, but again, only 2 games back of the Richmond Jazz for that last playoff spot in the Southern Division. The Copperheads are 6 and 8 on the road this season. The Scouts, meanwhile, are 7 and 8 at home. So both teams under 500 for the Scouts under 500 at home, the Copperheads under 500 on the road. But what make another part of this situation that makes this so interesting is even though we are at Grady's Field today, this is an away game for the Xenia Scouts because of the continuation of the game back in Athens. So this game will go on the Scouts record as a road game, and it will go on the Copperheads record as a home game, even though we are set for game number 1 of this doubleheader at Grady's Field. 5:05 first pitch. That'll be a few minutes late as Bubba Cates and Phil Butler, the managers for these respective teams, still at home plate. I don't believe we're going to even do a prayer or announce the starting lineups today, so we might just have to wait for the national anthem and warm-ups. But now that I've set the scene, let's give you the lineups here. In the field for the Southern Ohio Copperheads in this one, Zach Walsh will be at the hot corner, Bryson Smith at shortstop, Justin Antonzik at second, and Matt Harrison at first base. Chase Thurber is the catcher behind the plate for the Southern Ohio Copperheads. Ty Sunken is out in left field, Daniel McFarland in center field, Philip Tomasulo in right for the Copperheads. Now for the Scouts, up to the plate first, despite being at Grady's Field, obviously, because of the home-away situation that I just mentioned. Ben Beachy bats lead off, Ryan Park in the 2-hole, Donald Ring bats third, Kyle Casserly in the cleanup spot for the Xenia Scouts. But again, those 4 batters have already batted here in the first inning. A 6-3 ground out for both Ben Beachy and Park over to the shortstop. Ring walked, Casserly doubled. Chris Ackerman is the 5-hole hitter for the Xenia Scouts this evening. He has a 1-2 count on him, I believe. He's behind the plate tonight. Jordan Lambert replaces Caden Owens in the 6-hole for the Scouts. Owens shut down for the year because of a wrist injury hitting-wise. He is still available on the mound for the Xenia Scouts. Jordan Lambert replaces him in the 6-hole. Aaron Takis in the 7-hole, playing second today for Xenia. Joey Roddy batting 8th. Francisco Andina batting 9th for the Xenia Scouts. And the Southern Ohio Copperheads have taken the field for this game. Greg Dunham on the mound for the Copperheads. Dunham a 2.72 ERA on the year. That is third on this Southern Ohio Copperheads. His win 5 appearances for the Copperheads, a 260 batting average against. He's pitched 33 innings on the year. He's given up 34 hits, so about a hit an inning, a little over a hit an inning given up by Greg Dunham. 16 runs given up, 10 of them have been earned. 12 walks, 26 strikeouts for Greg Dunham. A whip of 1.39, that is walks plus hits per innings pitched. So he gives up about a base runner, a little over a base runner an inning. But the 2.73 ERA for Greg Dunham is 20th in the Great Lakes League. So that is very low here in the Great Lakes League. And the righty on the mound from Buffalo, well, we know Buffalo no longer has a baseball program, but Dunham, who will have to find a new home this next year, on the mound for the Copperheads. Chris Ackerman to the plate for Xenia. And once again, I believe it is a 1-2 count on Chris Ackerman. But we'll wait for the scoreboard to show, as we are set to go here at Grady's Field. No score, top of the first. 2 down, a 2-2 count. Excuse me, yes, a 1-2 count on Chris Ackerman. Greg Dunham's first pitch of the game could be a strikeout. Second, ring on third, the pitch. Line drive right to the shortstop, Smith. One pitch, one out, and that'll do it for the top of the first here at Grady's Field this afternoon. Boy, does that sound weird. One pitch, one out. And the Scouts are done here in the top of the first. Boy, they were about, at that line drives 3 feet higher above the head of the shortstop, Bryson Smith. We've got ourselves the 2-0 Scouts lead, but instead, we head to the bottom half of the first inning. No score between the Scouts and the Copperheads. We'll be right back on the Xenia Scouts Radio Network. Back here for the bottom of the first at Grady's Field, and the Copperheads are up to bat here in the bottom of the first. Once again, a continuation of the game that got rained out on July 7th in Athens. So the Copperheads, technically the whole home team, as the first pitch from Lozano is high and away, ball one. Jorge Lozano on the mound this evening for the Scouts. Philip Tomasulo leads it off for the Southern Ohio Copperheads. The 1-0 pitch. Fastball outside corner, strike one. Tomasulo followed by Daniel McFarland and Bryson Smith, the 1-2-3 hitters for Southern Ohio. Now the 1-1 from Lozano. Fastball high and tight, 2-1. Blaine Krim, the cleanup hitter. Matt Harrison bats in the 5-hole for Southern Ohio. Ty Sunken bats 6th. The 2-1 from Jorge. High, ball 3. Chase Thurber in the 7-hole. He's behind the plate this evening for the Southern Ohio Copperheads. Zach Walsh in the 8-hole. Justin Antonzik rounds it out for Southern Ohio. Now the 3-1. High at the chin, ball 4. Not what you wanted to see early from Jorge Lozano. A 5-pitch walk to Philip Tomasulo to begin the game.
And for Lozano, the key is to settle in here. Jorge, we have seen him struggle with control at various times throughout the season. So if you're Jorge Lozano, just shake it off. Time to get into a groove.
And in steps Daniel McFarland for Southern Ohio. McFarland bats from the left side. Lozano throws over to first. Tomasulo dives back safely, and rightly so for Jorge Lozano. It's Philip Tomasulo over at first base, 17 for 18 in stolen bases on the year. Lozano delivers. Fastball right down the heart of the plate. 0-1 to Daniel McFarland. McFarland, a .295 hitter on the year. Second on the team in hits with 36. Tomasulo, a big lead off of first. He's going to go. McFarland ground ball past the glove of Ring. Takis picks it up, flips to Ring at first, not in time. I think you got to count that as an error on Donald Ring, but that'll be close. That ball was hit hard. McFarland reaches first. Tomasulo stays at second. Nobody down here in the bottom of the first inning.
Yeah, and I would bet you that they will definitely rule that one as an error on Ring. He had a chance to make the play on the ball and unfortunately just muffed it. So now if you're Jorge Lozano, runners at first and second here with nobody out. A very important game here for both ball clubs.
Bryson Smith bats from the right side, the third batter of the day for Southern Ohio. The first delivery from Lozano. Curveball way outside. Tomasulo thought about going on a ball in the turf. Good block by Chris Ackerman. Bryson Smith, the shortstop today for the Southern Ohio Copperheads. Wouldn't be surprised to see a bunt laid down in this situation. The pitch. Fastball inside corner, strike 1. 1-1 on Bryson Smith, who's a .273 hitter on the year. Tomasulo, obviously a big lead over at second. Daniel McFarland, with no one holding him on, a huge lead at first. The 1-1 delivery. Lined foul behind the plate. Bryson Smith, the Western Kentucky Hilltopper. He'll be a sophomore at Western Kentucky this upcoming season. Batted .271 for the Hilltoppers in his first year of collegiate baseball. Now Lozano sets the pitch. Tomasulo taking off. Curveball throw from Ackerman, and it is dropped by Joey Roddy. That is a ball on the pitch. The count will be 2-2, but boy, did they have Philip Tomasulo, and it is a shame Joey Roddy couldn't hold on to that ball.
Yeah, the Copperheads going with the gutsy move, a double steal. So both runners advancing 90 feet, and now a couple of guys in scoring position and nobody out here.
It could be a runner on second and one down. Instead, the first run of this ball game stands 90 feet away. The 2-2 to Smith. Fastball outside low. It gets past Ackerman. Tomasulo scores, and the Copperheads have an early 1-0 lead.
And just absolutely a really tough start to this ball game for Jorge Lozano. Not much help from the people around him, but, you know, the leadoff walk compounded by the error and the stolen base. Suddenly let a pitch get behind you, and just like that, without allowing a hit, you're trailing this game 1-0 with another guy 90 feet away.
And they count 3-2 on Bryson Smith. The pitch. Line drive, base hit right field. An RBI single for Bryson Smith. 2-0 Copperheads here in the first.
Good piece of hitting there by Smith. Just drilled that one into right. And like I said previously, that Lozano hadn't allowed a hit. Well, there's that first hit. And what would normally be not an absolute killer makes it a 2-0 ball game.
And Blaine Krim to the plate for the Copperheads. The guy you do not want up there. Krim, one of the more dangerous hitters in the Great Lakes League. The first pitch. fouled off. 0-1. Blaine Krim, a 344 average. That's 16th in the league. 14 doubles is first in the Great Lakes League, and his 3 homers is first on this Copperheads team. Krim bats from the right side. Lozano throws over to first. Smith back safely. 2-0 Southern Ohio here in the bottom of the first inning. Lozano throws over to first once again. Ring a good pick out of the turf to prevent that ball from going by him. Count still 0-1 on Blaine Krim. Krim from Mississippi College will be a junior with the Choctaws next year. Lozano throws over once again. This time, Ring has to knock it down. Lozano keeps throwing over to first, but all 3 throws have been low in the turf.
Yeah, Lozano certainly needs to shore up here. He's playing like he's under duress of some sort.
The 0-1 to Krim. Runner going. Ground ball. Roddy fields it on a hop. He'll go to first with it. Runner going to third. The throw to Beachy, and he is safe at third base. Oh, Smith goes from first to third on the ground out. Roddy made the play, threw over to first for the out. Bryson Smith didn't even stop as soon as he saw Roddy throw to first. Roddy was more toward the middle infield because that's where the ground ball took him. He took off for third, and Beachy's tag was just late, or either he missed Smith sliding into third.
Yeah, very gutsy move there by Bryson Smith. Pays off. Harrison
swings through a curveball, strike 1. Matt Harrison, the 5-hole hitter this evening for the Copperheads, a 238 hitter on the year. He has been struggling as of late, hitting 158 in his last 10 games. The 0-1. Misses below the knees, 1-1. Harrison, who's tied for 17th in the Great Lakes League in strikeouts with 24. That leads the Copperheads. The pitch. Line drive straight to Takis at second. A good play. He had to get on his knees to make the grab. But 2 down here in the first for Lozano and the Scouts.
Yeah, good job there by Takis to make the shuffle over and stay in front of that ball, even though, like you said, Gabe, it required going to his knees. If he lets that ball even one hop, there's a pretty decent chance there that you're going to run the risk of surrendering another run. But now with 2 away, Jorge Lozano needs 1 more out.
Lozano just trying to limit the damage. Scouts down 2-0 here in the first. The pitch. Curveball misses just outside, 1-1. Ty Sunken, the batter. That's from the right side. Playing left field here in game number 1 of this doubleheader for the Copperheads. The pitch. Curveball once again misses off the outside corner, 2-0. Sunken, a 308 hitter on the year. 20 for 65. The pitch. Fastball, hard ground ball, up the middle, base hit, an RBI single for Ty Sunken. 3-0 Copperheads here in the bottom of the first.
Good piece of hitting there by Sunken. Just, textbook putting the ball up the middle. And for Jorge Lozano, not entirely his fault, but he's going to have to stop the bleeding here at some point. With 2 away here, Chase Thurber, a guy who's hit the ball very well coming to the plate, going to be a task.
And sadly, we've seen this from Lozano all year long. He gets hammered early, gives up a big inning, and then normally he settles down. First pitch to Chase Thurber, not quite thrown yet as Lozano steps off the mound. So you hope Lozano can bounce back and throw a few scoreless innings after this first. The first pitch to Chase Thurber once again. Lozano throws over to first. I apologize. Thurber, a 429 hitter on the year, but don't get too worried. 9 for 21. The pitch. High and in, ball 1. So only 21 at-bats for Thurber so far this year.
The question is, why aren't they playing him more?
Chase Thurber will be a junior with Shawnee State this next season. The pitch. Ground ball towards second. Takis fields it, throws to first. That'll do it for the Copperheads here in the first inning, but the damage is done. 3 runs on only 2 hits for the Southern Ohio Copperheads. They leave 1 aboard, and we've got ourselves a 3-0 Copperheads lead heading to the second inning. You're listening to Scouts Baseball on the Xenia Scouts Radio Network. To the top of the second inning we go here at Grady's Field. The Copperheads struck first 3 times in the bottom half of the first inning. The Scouts trail 3-0 early. Jordan Lambert, Aaron Takis, and Joey Roddy, the 6, 7, 8 hitters for the Scouts, due up here in the second inning. Once again, a little bit of a weird situation here this evening at Grady's Field. The Scouts are technically the road team in this game. July 7th rainout in Southern Ohio at Bob Wren Stadium at Ohio University. This game had to be made up today. That's why we are playing 2. We're playing all 9 innings here in game 1 of the doubleheader. Jordan Lambert steps up from the left side for the Scouts now. First pitch to him. Fastball misses outside, ball 1. Both teams 15 and 15 on the season, tied for 3rd in the Southern Division. The pitch, fastball inside, grounded foul, 1-1 to Lambert. Lambert was not in the lineup back in Athens, but he had to take the place of Caden Owens today, as Owens has been shut down hitting-wise for the year. The 1-1. Fastball, hard ground ball, up the middle, base hit. Jordan Lambert gets, well, the first hit of today, but the second hit of the ball game for the Xenia Scouts. Leadoff runner on here in the second.
You know, tremendous job there by Jordan Lambert. In terms of momentum, I mean, the Scouts haven't been very good offensively these past couple of games, despite the fact they beat the Locos, all of the offense coming in that final inning of play. So for a team that's been in a slump, for a team that's had trouble getting runners home, they're going to have to find their groove early here against the Copperhead if they want to have a chance to win this ball game.
Takis swings at the first pitch. Chopper towards second. Antonzik will have to go to 1 with it because Lambert beat the slow grounder to Antonzik at second. 1 down, a runner in scoring position for the Scouts.
Yeah, good job by Lambert there to get a good jump. And fortunately for the Scouts, like you said, Gabe, that was just a chopper that the second baseman Antonzik had to field a couple steps in. If that ball was deeper in the 4-hole, we might be looking at a 4-6-3 double play, but instead a runner in scoring position here with 1 out.
Joey Roddy to the plate for Xenia. First pitch. Catches the outside corner, strike 1. Roddy, the redshirt freshman from Ohio State, batting $169 on the year. That's from the right side. The 0-1 swung on and missed, 0-2. Roddy, over his last 10 games, is batting .258. So again, doesn't seem that impressive, but he's raised his average quite a bit over the last 10 games.
Yeah, for Roddy, we've seen him look a lot more comfortable against this live pitching these past couple of games.
Lambert leads off a second, a long look at second. He's going to go. The pitch is off the outside corner, and Lambert is out at third. I have no idea why you would steal third base in that situation. You need a run to begin the game, and you're already in scoring position. Lambert, who is very fast on the base pass, can score from second, and he's out at third, 2 down.
I actually don't think he was down. I think he got his hand in there before they laid down the tag. From my angle, that's what it looked like, but I'm not here to question them. I was really actually surprised right there when they called him out. I thought that he had just gotten in there, but
the pitch to Roddy. Catches the outside corner, strike 3, and just like that, the inning is over. Greg Dunham gets his first strikeout of the afternoon. Roddy goes down looking, and we're through an inning and a half. 3-0 Copperheads as we head to the bottom half of the second. You're listening to Scouts Baseball on the Xenia Scouts Radio Network. A 3-0 lead for the Southern Ohio Copperheads as we head to the bottom of the second inning. Jorge Lozano back out on the mound for the Scouts. The first pitch to Zach Walsh, down low, ball 1. Scouts, no runs in the first or the second inning. The Copperheads strike 3 times in the bottom of the first. The 1-0 to Walsh, inside, but he went around, 1-1. Walsh playing third base in game number 1 of this doubleheader for Southern Ohio. The 1-1 from Lozano. Curveball chopped foul down the third baseline, 1-2.
it's probably the first time we've seen Jorge Lozano ahead in the count on anyone so far today. So hopefully he can settle in like he has after giving up that big inning these past couple of starts.
Walsh will be a sophomore at Santa Clara University. The pitch, outside, ball 2. In his freshman campaign with the Broncos, he had 152, a 243 on base percentage, 10 RBIs on the year. Walsh hitting 262 this summer. Now the pitch, fouled off. We'll stay at 2-2. Walsh 11 for 42 on the year, so not an everyday player for the Southern Ohio Copperheads. The 2-2 pitch, curveball, flied high, right field. Lambert settling under it, makes the grab, 1 down.
Yeah, just a routine fly ball there. So Lozano now has retired 4 of the last 5 batters that he's faced after allowing the first 3 to get on. So hopefully, like I've been mentioning, continuously finding the groove that the Scouts need him to find.
Antonzik takes a strike at the knees, 0-1. Justin Antonzik, a 317 hitter for these Copperheads. That is 3rd on the team, 26th in the Great Lakes League. The 0-1. Curveball drops in there at the knees, strike 2. That might be the best pitch we've seen all day from Jorge Lozano.
Yeah, it took the words right out of my mouth, Gabe. That was a great breaking ball there, and now he's ahead 0-2.
The pitch. Another curveball, line drive, right field. Lambert chasing. He dives, and the ball lands. It might have hit Lambert's glove and popped out. It's going to be a single for Antonzik, 1 on, 1 out for the Copperheads.
And that one did go in and out of the glove of a diving Jordan Lambert. And ahead in the count, 0-2. Just a little bloop job there from Justin Antonzik. We've seen so much of that from him all season long, and that's a tough pill to swallow if you're a Xenia Scouts fan.
Tomasulo now up to the plate, the top of the order for the Southern Ohio Copperheads. The first pitch at the knee, strike one. Well, talk about speed. Justin Antonzik in this double leadoff role today did his job there. Antonzik is 11 for 12 in stolen bases on the year. Tomasulo, 17 for 18 coming into this game. They're going to throw back over to first. Antonzik dives back safely. I think he might have been going on that one. They caught him leaning the wrong way. Tomasulo walked his first time up to lead off the bottom of the first for the Copperheads. The pitch. Pitch out. So that'll be a ball. Antonzik not running.
Yeah, no, Corey Koob's certainly thinking that Antonzik was going to go there, but Antonzik looked like he figured it out, even if he was going to go. Decided not to make the move.
The pitch. Catches the outside corner. Count now 1-2 on Philip Tomasulo. Tomasulo, 17 stolen bases, is tied for second in the Great Lakes League. Lozano now sets the pitch. Blooped, foul territory, first base line. Ring makes the grab. 2 down here in the second inning.
Yeah, big out there. And the key there is that it was an out that holds the speedy Justin Antonzik over at first base. If he's on second base, you got to expect that he could score on anything in play. From first, not as much of a guarantee, though there is still certainly a chance on anything deep in the gap. But a big out to get here in the All-Star Daniel McFarland.
McFarland bats from the left side. The pitch. Antonzik running. Ackerman's throw to second is not in time. Justin Antonzik steals his 12th base of the year. A runner in scoring position, 2 down for Daniel McFarland and the Copperheads.
And Antonzik picking a good pitch to run on there. That one was a little or way on the outside, I should say. Chris Ackerman never really had a chance.
Now the 1-0. Fastball catches the outside edge, 1-1. McFarland reached his first time on an error by Donald Ring. A hard ground ball that was right in the middle of Ring and just slipped out and trickled behind him, and he couldn't get back to the bag in time. The 1-1 pitch. Fastball fouled off behind the plate, 1-2. Lozano ahead of the count once again, and you'd really like to see him take care of McFarland right here. Prevent Antonzik from coming around to score and keep this ball game at 3-0. Scouts already down 3 here in the bottom of the second. And Lozano is going to have to step off. I don't know if he coughed or what there.
Yeah, that looked pretty strange.
Now he takes the sign from Ackerman and sets. And this time it'll be McFarland who steps out of the batter's box and calls time on Lozano. McFarland, 15 RBIs on the year. That is 3rd on the team. Now the 1-2. Low in the dirt. It trickles away from Ackerman and down the third baseline. Antonzik moves to 3rd. 2-2 on McFarland.
Oh, and such a tough break for Lozano, but just kind of goes to show the value that you get in Justin Antonzik as a player. It's the bloop single, stolen base, and can advance on a ball that didn't even really get that far past Ackerman. So you go first to third just like that, and the threat just increases.
The 2-2. Swing and a miss on a fastball high. Lozano gets McFarland swinging for his first strikeout of the day. They leave Antonzik stranded at 3rd. No runs on 1 hit and 1 left aboard for Southern Ohio. The Scouts still trail 3-0. We head to the 3rd. To the top of the third inning we go here at Grady's Field. The Scouts trail the Southern Ohio Copperheads 3-0 as we head to the top of the third. Francisco Andina, Ben Beachy, and Ryan Park, the 9-1-2 hitters, due up for the Scouts here in the third. The Scouts, 2 hits thus far. They have left 2 runners on base. No runs as Andina steps to the plate. He'll face Greg Dunham in his third inning of work on the mound. Once again, a little bit of a weird scenario here at Grady's Field this evening as Andina steps in from the left side. Dunham sets the first pitch to Andina. Fastball outside corner, strike 1. This game being made up after the rain out on July 7th in Athens. So the Scouts, technically the road team here at Grady's Field. The 0-1-2 Andina, fastball swung on and missed, 0-2. So that has got to be, I know it's weird for me seeing the Scouts bat in the top half of the inning here at Grady's Field, but in the record books, this will go in as a road game for Xenia and a home game for Southern Ohio, even though we are in Xenia. The 0-2. Flied high, right field, medium depth. The right fielder, Tomasulo, settles under. 1 down for the Scouts here in the third inning. And that'll bring up Ben Beachy for Xenia. Both of these teams, 15 and 15, coming into today's contest. Game number 1 of a doubleheader between these two teams. We will play all 9 innings. Here in Game 1, we will only play 7 in Game 2. First pitch from Dunham. Outside, ball 1. And Ange Bourgeois is actually the pinch hitter for Ben Beachy. Beachy's been having some knee problems. That has got to be why he was pulled out of this lineup. Now the pitch. Fastball line straight to second. And Tonzik fields it on a hop. 2 away here in the third. So Ben Beachy is pulled. Bourgeois will play shortstop for the Scouts.
Yeah, not a huge surprise there from Xenia. I talked to Ben Beachy prior to the game, and he was telling me that his leg hurts not only doing baseball activities, but that knee's hurting him all the time.
And now Ryan Park steps in. The first pitch to him. Fastball grounded right side, and Tonzik fields it at second, and that'll do it for the Scouts here in the third inning. They continue to struggle from the plate. 1-2-3. Greg Dunham pitching a gem thus far for the Southern Ohio Copperheads. 3-0 Copperheads as we head to the bottom of the third. You're listening to Xenia Scouts Baseball on the Xenia Scouts Radio Network. To the bottom half of the third inning we go here at Grady's Field. A 3-0 Scouts deficit to the Southern Ohio Copperheads here in the bottom of the third inning. Bryson Smith will lead it off for Southern Ohio, followed by Blaine Krim and Matt Harrison. The 3-4-5 hitters for the Copperheads here in the bottom of the third. Jorge Lozano still on the mound for the Scouts. The first pitch popped up center field. Going back is Andina, and he'll make the grab. 1 down.
Good one pitch out there for Lozano, who has, with the exception of the Justin Antonzik single that popped in and out of the glove of Jordan Lambert, it's been working pretty effectively since making that final out in the bottom of the third. It's weird to say bottom of the third because we're playing at Grady's Field, but nonetheless.
Blaine Krim to the plate now for the Copperheads. The first pitch swung on, a big hack by Krim, 0-1. And the big hack is understandable. Blaine Krim, 14 doubles, a triple, and 3 home runs on the year. The 14 doubles leads the league. The 0-1. Curveball just misses, 1-1. Krim's 42 hits is also first on the Copperheads, tied third in the Great Lakes League. His 26 RBIs leads the team and is 7th in the league. The pitch, outside, ball 2.
Yeah, Blaine Krim, a guy who has been such an impact player, actually took home All-Star Game MVP at the Great Lakes League All-Star Game this past Tuesday.
The 2-1. Curveball, line drive, base hit, left field. Blaine Krim is now 1 for 2 today, a 1-out single here in the third.
And Blaine Krim absolutely smoking that ball, a hard line drive into left. And, you know, when you look at the guy, you look at the batting average, you look at the extra base numbers, and you see a beautiful swing like that connecting with the ball, and you understand that maybe this guy's got a big future in the game of baseball.
Krim plays at Division II Mississippi College. Now Matt Harrison to the plate. The first pitch from Lozano. Off speed, misses low, 1-0. Harrison lined out to Takis his first time up in the first inning. A .238 hitter has been really struggling as of late. 6 for 38 in his past 10 games. That's a 158 clip. The pitch, fouled off, 1-1. Harrison has 5 multi-hit games on the year. 2 of them were in the first 2 games against the Xenia Scouts. He has a total of 20 hits this season. He's 7 for 17 against the Scouts. The pitch, swung on, a good off-speed pitch from Lozano.
Yeah, I think back to those first couple of games when you and I were calling Matt Harrison, of course, maybe a little bit too early to judge. We were saying one of the most dangerous hitters in the league. Now sitting at .238 with 10 RBIs. It goes to show that guys can get off to a little bit of a hot start and then cool down big time.
Yeah, so he's got 5 doubles and 2 homers on the year, so 7 extra base hits. Only 2 in the last 15 games. The pitch. Curveball swung on and missed, strike 3. Harrison goes down swinging. Lozano's second of the afternoon. 2 down here in the third. And I know you could say only 2 extra base hits the past 15 for a lot of players in this league. But as you mentioned, in the first 2 games against the Scouts, he had a double and a home run. We were thinking this guy was a big power hitter. He was going to have a great year just based off of those first 2 games. And he has struggled throughout the rest of the year. First pitch, low below the knees to tie Sunken, 1-0.
The pitching coaches in this league aren't Bush League by any means. These guys can make adjustments to the hitters and the way that they coach their pitchers and have them pitch to the individual hitters. So perhaps Harrison just has a big
Sunken takes a ball low, 2-0.
A big hole in his game that pitching coaches in the Southern Division have figured out.
Ty Sunken hasn't struggled this year, at least not yet, batting .308. An RBI single, his first time up in the first inning. The pitch. Fastball misses high at the chin. 3-0 to Sunken.
Yeah, Lozano's going to have to go for get me a crosser here, but Sunken, a very dangerous hitter. With the Copperheads up 3-1, it'll be interesting to see if he has the green light here, if it's anything in the zone.
The pitch. The get me over doesn't even do that. Lone outside. First and second. 2 down for the Copperheads here in the third. Jorge Lozano needs 1 out to get out of the inning, and he would love to put another 0 on the board after giving up 3 in the bottom of the first, and the Scouts already trailing 3-0.
And that at-bat almost an oddity. You know, Lozano, despite giving up the hit to Krim already this inning, has looked good. He's been finding the zone, and that at-bat, just a 4-pitch walk. Not a good sign from Jorge Lozano.
Lozano gave up a walk, a hit, And, of course, the error by Ring in the first 3 batters of the game. As Chase Thurber steps to the plate, the first pitch, grounded toward third slowly, and that ball rolls foul. A good job by Chris Ackerman to kind of swat that thing and stop it from moving before it could roll back fair. I don't think it would have, but that ball trickled fair down the third base line for a while. 0-1 on Thurber. So Lozano, since those first 3 batters, has only given up 3 hits and a walk, but they've been in manageable situations. He hasn't been in trouble since that first inning. First and second, 2 down here in the third now. The 0-1 delivery. Curveball just misses. 1-1.
Yeah, close pitch there from Lozano, maybe trying to get Chase Thurber to chase upstairs a little bit, but no cigar there.
Third bats from the right side, the catcher in game number 1 for the Copperheads. The pitch. Another curveball misses just low and away. 2-1. Thurber only has 7 games with Southern Ohio. He has a hit in 5 of the 7 games. He's 0 for 4 with a walk in his last 2. The pitch. Fastball grounded toward third. Roddy picks it up, fires to first, and they got him. A good play by Joey Roddy. A 5-3 putout to end the third inning. Lozano gives up a hit and a walk. The Copperheads leave 2 on base. However, they do not get a run. 3-0 Southern Ohio as we head to the 4th. You're listening to Scouts Baseball on the Xenia Scouts Radio Network. Okay, all notes are updated.
Sweet.
I'm going to step out and go to the bathroom.
Okay, don't get lost.
Jesus Christ, it's fucking hot. Yeah. The papers are like wet.
So it's all good. My freaking life is wet.
Be careful with the water.
I think the webcam will be fine because it doesn't have anything that like the water could go into.
Yeah.
One, two, three, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Go into the top of the 4th inning. Andrew Alix here alongside Gabe Genovesi. The Scouts trailing by a score of 3-0 here. And Donald Ring steps to the plate. First pitch to Ring. Fastball on the outside. 1 ball and no strikes to Donald Ring. Ring, the catcher from Hillsdale College in Hillsdale, Michigan. His first time up. Well, it was 2 weeks ago in the part of the game that was rained out. But he did draw a walk. And he'll watch ball 1 on the outside, 2 balls and no strikes. Now to Donald Ring. It'll be Ring, Casserly, and Chris Ackerman due up at the minimum here in the top of the 4th. The 2-0 pitch to Donald Ring. That one low and in, 3-0 to Donald Ring. Ring, a .238 hitter with 5 doubles, 1 home run, and 7 RBIs on the year. He bats from the left side here against the righty. The 3-0 pitch. That one finds the inside part of the plate for a called strike. So the get me across does just that. 3 balls and 1 strike to Don Ring here. Nobody out in the top of the 4th. Scouts trailing 3-0. Ring watches 3-1 on the outside, ball 4. So Donald Ring draws a leadoff walk, his second walk of the game. And One on and nobody out now for Kyle Casserly. Cass, in his first at-bat, which also took place 2 weeks ago, in that top of the first inning that was rained out back at Bob Wren Stadium in Athens, Ohio, Casserly doubled. Ultimately was stranded over at second. First pitch, fastball outside part of the plate, a called strike one. 0-1 to Kyle Casserly. Cass from Wright State University playing left field tonight. A .245 hitter with 8 doubles. That's first on the Xenia Scouts ball club. Also has 1 home run and 11 RBIs. Throwback over to first. Donald slides back in safely. Still 0-1 to Kyle Casserly. For Cass, he has seen times where he has been hot. He has seen times where he has been cold through this season. The pitch, and Cass, big swing. He fouls that one straight back. Now behind in the count, 0-2. Chris Ackerman awaits on deck here. Casserly bats from the left side against the righty. The 0-2 pitch. Ring leads from first. He delivers. Upstairs, 1 ball and 2 strikes. Casserly, 1 for 8 with 2 RBI. He has drawn 4 walks and hit a home run against the Copperheads this season. The pitch, that one way inside, 2 balls and 2 strikes to Kyle Casserly. Casserly has 7 multi-hit games this season. So if he can manage another hit in this contest, plus the double that he got a couple of weeks ago, and that'll be the 8th multi-hit game, the 2-2 pitch, and Casserly hits that one right back at the pitcher. The pitcher's going to go to second for 1, and that gets past the glove of the shortstop, Bryson Smith, and will go into center field. Kyle Casserly safe at first, Donald Ring safe at second, and the Scouts with 2 on and nobody out for Chris Ackerman. So a ball that was just a chopper back at the starting pitcher. Technically not the starting pitcher. Back at our pitcher, Greg Dunham, who started this game. He just throws it back and trying to get the lead runner, if not the double play, but the shortstop, Bryson Smith, covering second, just couldn't handle it. The ball rolls in and everyone's safe. So Chris Ackerman awaits first pitch. He lifts that one high in the air, center field. Not very deep. Daniel McFarland settles under it. He'll make the grab. Out number 1. So mark that one down, by the way, as an error on the pitcher. So Casserly will not get credit for a hit there. But now Jordan Lambert to the plate. 2 on and 1 away. Lambert, a .295 hitter on the year. That is second on the Xenia Scouts ball club. He bats from the left side here against the righty. Top of the 4th here. Scouts trailing by a score of 3-0. First pitch, upstairs, 1 ball and no strikes. Lambert, the native of Savannah, Tennessee, plays his college baseball at the University of Tennessee, Martin. The 1-0. And Lambert lines that one right field. That one's going to drop. Donald Ring rounding third. He'll head home. Casserly to second. Casserly to third. Jordan Lambert to second. Everyone will get there safely. An RBI double off the bat of Jordan Lambert puts the Scouts on the board. His 6th double of the year, his 16th RBI. And now it's runners at second and third here with 1 away in the top of the 4th. 3-1 now the score. And Aaron Tack is coming to the plate. So for Lambert, his 2nd hit of the afternoon already. He singled back in the 2nd inning, but ended up getting caught stealing over at third. But the RBI double, and Lambert has now 3 for his last 3. First pitch to Aaron Takis, fouled out of play, left field side, 0-1 the count to Aaron Takis. Takis, a .270 hitter on the year. His only extra base hit a double, one of them, but 9 RBIs for the second baseman tonight from Corinne University in the great state of Pennsylvania. The 0-1 pitch. And that one low and inside. 1 ball and 1 strike for Takis. We have seen him improve as the season's gone on, but not a bad schoolball year. Aaron Takis with Corinne University, a .409 average with 28 RBIs. The pitch, that one low and away, 2 balls and 1 strike. It's Casserly at third, Jordan Lambert at second here with one away. In the top of the fourth inning, 3-1, the score in favor of the Southern Ohio Copperheads. The 2-1. Low and in that time. Fastball below the knees on the inside. 3 balls and 1 strike, and a very favorable hitter's count for Aaron Takis. Takis bats from the left side here against the righty Greg Dunham. The pitch. And that one hit on the ground towards short. The shortstop picks it up, throws over to first, and that one will bring the first baseman, Matt Harrison, off of the bag. A throw low on the far side of the bag. Aaron Takis is safe. Kyle Casserly comes home to score. Jordan Lambert advances to third. Phil Butler, the manager of the Southern Ohio Copperheads, is going to come out and contest this. And it looked very close to me. But the first baseman, Matt Harrison, tried to extend his entire frame off of the bag. And field umpire Justin Penix is going to say that brought him off. So the umpires convene. They agree. Takis is safe. So now it's runners at the corners, 3-2 in favor of the Copperheads. Still just 1 out, and a long fly ball from Joey Roddy will make this a tie ball game. Roddy, a 169 hitter on the year, 1 double, 8 RBIs for the freshman third baseman from Ohio State. He bats for the right side here against the righty. The first pitch from Greg Dunham is hit high in the air, center field. The center fielder, Daniel McFarland, calls for it. Tagging up is Jordan Lambert, and there'll be a throw home. The throw will be cut off by the pitcher. An RBI sacrifice fly for Joey Roddy, and we are all tied up at 3. So a tremendous job here by the Scouts, and let's talk about how we got here. Donald Ring led things off with a walk, and then was an error by the pitcher. Then allowed Kyle Casserly to get on safely. It was first and second with 1 away at that point when an RBI double off the bat of Jordan Lambert brought home Donald Ring. Casserly advanced to third. And then a ball hit on the ground by Aaron Takis as first pitch. Francisco Andina shows bunt. Foul ball down the first base line. Town ball. Safe at first on error by the shortstop. Casserly comes home to score for the second run, and then the RBI sacrifice fly off the bat of Joey Roddy. We are all tied up at 3. Now 2 away here, no balls and a strike to Francisco Andina. Aaron Takis stands at first. He leads. The pitch to Andina that time, fastball inside part of the plate. No balls and 2 strikes. Andina, a .205 hitter on the year, 5 doubles, is third on the Xenia Scouts ball club. He has drawn 22 walks this season. He awaits 0-2. As time is called there, Andina not liking how long Greg Dunham was taking out there on the mound. Andina bats from the left side here against the righty. The Scouts have managed 3 runs on just 1 hit so far this inning. The pitch, the runner Takis goes. That one hit in the air but foul left field side. So it looks like the hit and run was on there, as Aaron Takis had a big jump, but he'll have to go back as the count stays 0-2. Dunham looks to the catcher, Chase Thurber. The 0-2 pitch. That one comes way on the inside. 1 ball and 2 strikes now. Andina, the 9-man in this order. So our new leadoff man in this ball game, Ange Bourgeois, awaits on deck. The 1-1 pitch, and he fouls that one down the first base side. 1 ball and 2 strikes. For those of you who are just joining back with us here, sorry for the delay. A little bit of a technical difficulty here. But Francisco Andina ends up drawing the walk. We don't know when it shut down compared to, what point in the game. But there's at second and third, or first and second here. With 2 away in the top of the fourth. A 1-2 count to the leadoff man, Ange Bourgeois. Pitch. And that one in there for a called strike 3. Ange Bourgeois goes down looking, and that will do it for the Scouts here in the top of the fourth. But the damage is done. 3 runs on 1 hit, and 2 men left aboard for Xenia. We have reached the middle of the 4th inning here. The Scouts and the Southern Ohio Copperheads all tied up at 3. Don't go anywhere, folks. We'll be right back. You are listening to Xenia Scouts Baseball on the Xenia Scouts Radio Network. Bottom of the 4th inning here. First pitch from Jorge Lozano on the inside. A fastball, 1 ball and no strikes now to the batter, Zach Walsh. Zach Walsh, 0 for 1 on the day. The third baseman from the University of Santa Clara. And second pitch from Lozano comes way on the inside and gets a piece of Zach Walsh's jersey. So a hit by pitch puts the leadoff man aboard for the Copperheads here in the home half of the 4th. So 1 on and nobody out for Justin Antonzik. Antonzik, the second baseman from Michigan State, a .317 hitter on the year. 3 doubles, 13 RBIs for the Michigan State Spartan. He's 1 for 1 on the day. Antonzik, he bats from the right side here against the righty Jorge Lozano. We're tied up at 3 here in the home half of the 4th inning. First pitch. That one on the outside, 1 ball and no strikes. Antonzik, 26th in the league in average at a .317 mark. A selection for the 2017 All-Star game as he swings at first, or at the 1-0 pitch, fouls that one out of play on the right field side. 1 ball and 1 strike to Justin Antonzik. 8 multi-hit games for Antonzik this year. 4 of them coming in the first 4 ball games of the season, however. The pitch from Lozano, curveball, and that one.
Foul ball.
And it looks like it got the knob of the bat of Justin Antonzik. So that it looked like it would have been a hit by pitch, but I guess the fact that it ricocheted so hard off of the knob of the bat, definitely a foul ball. 1 ball and 2 strikes here with nobody out in the home half of the 4th. Lozano looks to the catcher, Chris Ackerman. The 1-2 pitch. Swing and a miss, strike 3. Throwing back to first is Chris Ackerman, but Zach Walsh will slide back in there safely. Nonetheless, Justin Antonzik goes down swinging. Jorge Lozano's 3rd strikeout of the afternoon and the first out here in the home half of the 4th.
And that's a great pitch from Jorge Lozano to get Antonzik, who is a great hitter on this team, has speed. The 9-hole today, you don't want him to get on and create this double leadoff with Philip Tomasulo. He goes fishing on a curveball, a great pitch.
So like you said, the leadoff man, Philip Tomasulo, now coming to the plate. First pitch, Tomasulo shows bunt, but that ball way high. Looks like a pitch out there put on by Corey Coombs. So 1 ball and no strikes as Tomasulo pulled back very quickly. Tomasulo 0 for 1 on the day. He did draw a walk, coming around to score the first run of the ball game for the Copperheads. The 1-0 pitch, curveball way high yet again. 2 balls with no strikes, and Lozano has missed badly on these last 2 pitches. So 2-0 the count here to Philip Tomasula. Tomasula from the University of Buffalo, a baseball program that will be no more following their final season in 2017. Now ground ball over to third. Roddy goes to second for 1. The third to first for 2. Will be in time. A 5-4-3 double play will end things for the Copperheads here in the home half of the 4th. No runs on no hits and nobody left aboard for Southern Ohio. We have played 4 innings of baseball. The Copperheads and the Scouts are all tied up at 3. Don't go anywhere, folks. We'll be right back. You are listening to Xenia Scouts Baseball on the Xenia Scouts Radio Network. We go into inning number 5 of baseball here at Grady's Field. The Scouts and the Southern Ohio Copperheads are deadlocked at 3. And the Scouts going to send the 2, 3, 4 spots in their lineup, starting off with Ryan Park. First pitch to Park, up and away, 1 ball and no strikes. Park, a .303 hitter on the year. He is 0 for 2 on the day. That .303 average for Park, second on the Xenia Scouts ball club. 1-0 pitch to Ryan. Fastball, that one delivers low, 2 balls and no strikes. Park ahead in this count, 2-0, and drawing walks is something we've seen him do all too well throughout this season. 23 walks on the year. That is first on the Xenia Scouts ball club. The 2-0 pitch to Ryan Park. That one does find the zone. A fastball on the outside part of the plate. 2 balls and 1 strike to Ryan Park. Park, the designated hitter this evening from Point Loma Nazarene University, the native of Fullerton, California. He takes 2-1 pitch, low and in, 3 balls and 1 strike. Park, 5th in the league in walks with those 23. He awaits the 3-1 pitch. And that one is hit. Ground ball up the middle, a base hit. Ryan Park with his first hit of the day. And the Scouts with the leadoff man aboard here in the top of the 5th.
And that's what you like to see here in the 5th. Get your leadoff man aboard. A nice piece of hitting from Ryan Park on a pitch that was low and inside. And now you got your 3, 4, 5 hitters coming up to bat. The guys who started the damage last inning in the 4th. Let's see if the Scouts can get a lead here.
Yeah, the Scouts hopefully can work off of that momentum now. Donald Ring to the plate. First pitch to Ring. Ground ball foul. First base side. Nothing in 1 the count to Donald Ring. Ring is yet to record an official at-bat this game. A couple of walks. He came around to score last inning after leading things off with a walk. He came in on the RBI double off the bat of Jordan Lambert. Ring bats from the left side here against the righty Dunham. The 0-1 pitch. That one delivers upstairs. 1 ball and 1 strike to Donald Ring. Ring, 238 hitter on the year, 5 doubles, 1 home run, 7 RBIs. But back in spring ball, his 17 home runs broke a Hillsdale College school record. As Dunham throws back over to first, Ryan Park slides in safely. The count remains at 1-1. Ring with just one home run this year. The Scouts still waiting for him to hopefully break out with a couple more during this final stretch. The pitch, and Ring hits that one on the ground, right field side, and that one's going to roll in for a base hit. Donald Ring singles. So a couple of straight singles from the 2 and 3 spots in the Scouts lineup. And just like that, Xenia has 2 on and nobody out for a very good hitter in Kyle Casserly.
You get your first 2-1. Now you have Casserly, Ackerman, and Lambert, who we know have power. One of them delivers a big hit, and the Scouts are going to have a lead.
So Casserly to the plate. The first pitch. That one below the knees. 1 ball and no strikes. Cass is 1 for 2 on the day. He doubled 2 weeks ago.
2 weeks ago.
For those of you that don't know, this is a continuation of a game that we played half of an inning 2 weeks ago. But that ball on the ground, right field side yet again, rolls past the glove of the first baseman, Matt Harrison. Donald Ring heading to third. Ryan Park's going to come home. Safe at first is Kyle Casserly, an RBI single from Kyle Casserly, and the Scouts have taken a 4-3 lead.
And the Bats have woken up here in the last 2 innings. You get the RBI double from Lambert back in the 4th, 3 straight hits here in the 5th, and now you're still threatening. Runners on the corners for Xenia, nobody down. Anything in the deep in the air, I should say.
I don't know when the last time we saw the Scouts string together 3 hits, but you got to do what you got to do. And all 3 of these balls, I would say Park's ball was the one hit the best, but these were just kind of ground balls that found the right spot, and sometimes in baseball, that's all you need. But now Chris Ackerman steps in. Acks 0 for 2 on the day. He fouls first pitch back into the screen, 0-1.
And I will say this. You talk about the ground balls that have just found holes for the Scouts. I'm being dead serious here when I don't remember the last time the Scouts have just had, little bloopers or ground balls find the right places.
The pitch, curveball, upstairs and outside. 1 ball and 1 strike to Chris Ackerman. And you're exactly right, Gabe. The Scouts are kind of either the kind of team that's either hard line drives into the outfield, or you're flying out, or just routine ground outs. It's kind of, we've relied so heavily on just the ability to hit the ball in the air and find a drop on the outfield side. Ackerman hits one up the middle. It's going to go right back to the pitcher. The pitcher's going to go home. The throw home will be in time. Wow. Our home plate umpire, Jeff Spisak, says that the throw back to Chase Thurber was not only in time, but that, Thurber quickly
got the tag down,
which I can believe it because he is closer than I am, but if so, and assuming that is true, a tremendous play defensively by the catcher, Chase Thurber. So out at home is Donald Ring. Casserly stays at or advances to second base. Chris Ackerman safe at first on the fielder's choice. There's still 2 on, but now 1 out for Jordan Lambert. First pitch to Jordan Lambert, hits that one on the ground, right field side, a base hit. Coming home is going to be Kyle Casserly. Chris Ackerman headed to third. Another RBI for Jordan Lambert, this time a single, and the Scouts extend their lead to 5-3.
And Lambert stays hot, 3 for 3 today with a couple of RBIs. He had 2 hits in his last 3 at-bats against the Locos. Of course, the walk-off to right field. So he's now 5 for 6 in his last 6 at-bats. And the Scouts continue to roll.
Oh, that's exactly right, Gabe. So now it's Jordan Lambert at first and Chris Ackerman at second. Still 1 away here in the top of the 5th. First pitch to Aaron Takis is driven into center field, a base hit. Chris Ackerman will walk home an RBI single off the bat of Aaron Takis, make it 6-3 Scouts.
We haven't seen an inning like this for Xenia. Well, besides for the 9th inning against the Locos, of course. But in the middle of the game, we haven't seen this from Xenia all year. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 hits and 6 batters. We're on a roll.
So Joey Roddy to the plate. Roddy already has an RBI today, a sacrifice fly back in the 4th inning. First pitch to Joey. He hits that one in the air, shallow right field. The second baseman, Antonzik, will come and make the grab out number 2. So none of the runners advance, and now it'll be up to Francisco Andina to keep this inning going for the Scouts. The Scouts have 5 hits so far, 3 runs on 5 hits. And for lack of a better absolutely teed off on Southern Ohio starting pitcher Greg Dunham. So runners at first and second here with 2 away in the top of the 5th for Francisco Andina. First pitch to Andina, swing and a miss. No balls and 1 strike. Francisco is 0 for 1 on the day. He flew out to right his first time up. His second time to the plate, he walked. And it looks like the catcher for the Southern Ohio Copperheads, Chase Thurber, is down, holding his hands on his head, and he will stay down. Southern Ohio manager Phil Butler is going to come out and have a word with his catcher. Grady's Field head athletic trainer Zach Taw heading out to home plate as well. And unfortunately, I didn't see exactly what happened there, and Gabe did not see it either because he was getting someone to move out of the camera. But my best guess would be that maybe he got hit with the backswing of Francisco Andina's bat, because there is no other logical explanation as to why this would happen. So while the AT is out, we are going to step aside for a minute here, but the Scouts with runners at first and second here with 2 away in the top of the 5th inning. They lead by a score of 6-3, trying to add a couple more. Don't go anywhere, folks. We'll be right back. You are listening to Xenia Scouts Baseball on the Xenia Scouts Radio Network. And I'm just going to talk about how this happened, I guess. So we are back here in the top of the 5th, runners at first and second and 2 away. The catcher, Chase Thurber, ended up going down hard. Took a long time on the ground. Hard to tell whether it will be Thurber or someone else here for the Scouts, or not for the Scouts, for the Copperheads. Looks like number 12 catching. Gabe is number 12, Chase Thurber, or is it someone else?
Well, we will have to find out here.
Yes, time will tell, as they say. 12 is Justin Antonza.
Yeah, it's not 12. Obviously, because of the catcher's
could be
gear.
18. It's hard to tell at this point. Now 18 would be Tomasula.
If it's 17, it's Dan McCauley.
That would...
It is Dan McCauley.
Okay, so it's Dan McCauley. Hard to see numbers through catcher's gear, unfortunately. So Dan McCauley into catch Chase Thurber. His night is over after an injury, so our thoughts with him, hopefully nothing bad.
Too serious.
Yeah, nothing too serious. So now it's Francisco Andina, the count 0-1 to him. Jordan Lambert at second, Aaron Tackus at first with 2 away here in the top of the 5th. The pitch. Curveball finds the zone, 0-2 to Francisco Andina. The Scouts have managed 3 runs already in this inning. Anything in the gap from Andina would add 1, if not 2 more. We saw Andina a big double in the 9th inning in the Scouts' last game against the Lima Locos. part of that big ninth inning rally that propelled the Scouts to victory. The pitch, and Andina just gets his bat on that one. That pitch certainly on the outside, but Andina protecting the zone there. Not going to take anything that's even close. The count's going to stay at 0-2.
Yeah, luckily he got a piece of that one.
Andina, the 8th Scout to bat here in the top of the 5th inning. The 0-2. Curveball, swing and a miss. Strike number 3, and that will do it for Xenia here in the top of the 5th. But another 3 runs for the Scouts. 3 runs on 5 hits and 2 men left aboard. We have reached the middle of the 5th inning. The Scouts lead the Southern Ohio Copperheads by a score of 6-3. Don't go anywhere, folks. We'll be right back. You are listening to Xenia Scouts Baseball on the Xenia Scouts Radio Network. We go to the home half of the 5th, 6-3, the score in favor of the Scouts. Jorge Lozano, first pitch to Daniel McFarland upstairs. 1 ball and no strikes. It'll be Daniel McFarland, Bryson Smith, and Blaine Krim due up for the Southern Ohio Copperheads. The 1-0 pitch. Way on the outside yet again, 2-0. McFarland, a .295 hitter from Eastern Kentucky, 7 doubles, 15 RBIs. Both the 7 doubles and the 15 RBIs are second on the Southern Ohio Copperhead Ball Club. 2-0 pitch from Lozano, finds the zone, 2 balls and 1 strike. McFarland, like we said, the center fielder from Eastern Kentucky, appeared in the All-Star game. 7 RBIs against the Scouts. McFarland watches curveball upstairs. 3 balls and 1 strike there. It's Daniel McFarland. McFarland from Eastern Kentucky, a .363 average with the Colonels this past spring. Tied for the lead on his team as Lozano delivers upstairs and outside. A 5-pitch walk, and not what you're looking for from Jorge Lozano.
Yeah, and those balls were way outside the zone. He missed high a couple times. He missed way outside with that last one. Ackerman had to jump out of his crouch 3 times in that at-bat. And even with the 6-3 lead here for the Scouts, you hope Lozano can find control and get through the 5th and the 6th decently quickly so you don't have to use the bullpen too much here in Game 1.
Now remember, folks, Game 1 is first pitch from Lozano. It's going to be up and in, ball 1 to Bryson Smith. Game 1 is a 9-inning game because it was the continuation of a game that was previously started. Game 2, however, will be a 7-inning deal that will start about 20 minutes after the conclusion of the first game. Pitch from Lozano on the inside yet again. Jorge has thrown 8 pitches, or should I say, 7 pitches so far this inning. 6 of them for balls, and Bubba Cates is going to come out to the mound and have a word with Jorge Lozano, as he has just not been in control at all whatsoever here in the home half of the 5th.
Yeah, and this is what we saw in the first inning when the Copperheads got 3 runs. It was only 2 hits for the Copperheads. They got their 3 runs off of also a walk and an error. But now a walk to begin the 5th, and now Bryson Smith ahead in the count 2-0. The Scouts still have no one going in the bullpen, so it's going to be Lozano who they want to finish this 5th at least.
Well, that's exactly right, Gabe. And while Bubba's out on the mound with Jorge, we'll tell you it's the bottom of the fifth in Richmond, or in Hamilton, I should say, between the Richmond Jazz and the Hamilton Joes, in what will be a 7-inning game between the two ball clubs. And Richmond leads the Hamilton Joes by a score of 4-2. So not the result so far that either of these ball clubs, the Copperheads or the Scouts, are looking for between the Jazz and the Joes. The Jazz and the Joes, of course, both ahead of the Copperheads and the Scouts. Pitch that time from Lozano on the ground, right field side, base hit. That one will roll. Daniel McFarland to second, Bryson Smith safe at first. And just like that, the tying run comes to the plate here with nobody out in the home half of the fifth for the Copperheads.
And the most dangerous hitter in the lineup, Blaine Krim, to the plate. One swing of the bat could tie this game now.
And let me tell you, he's done it a couple of times. Blaine Krim, a .344 hitter on the year, 14 doubles, 1 triple, 3 home runs, 26 RBIs. Leads the Copperheads in literally almost every single major offensive category. Krim is 1 for 2 on the day. He grounded out to third his first time up, a single his second time up. First pitch to him, fastball outside part of the plate, called strike 1. Krim from Division II, Mississippi College. The native of Mobile, Alabama. As we mentioned previously, the All-Star Game MVP this past Tuesday, a 3-for-3 day with 2 doubles, a home run, and 3 RBIs. So certainly deserving of the accolade there. 0-1 pitch from Lozano. That one hit fair territory, or they'll say that one bounced foul back into the box, and a good thing that they called that, because that one ricocheted and what would have been a really slow roller down the third base line, in which most likely everyone would have been safe.
Yeah, that ball hit Krim on the front foot, and like you said, very lucky. The runners would have moved to second and third with no problem. The question would have been whether Roddy would have been able to get Krim at first. Either way, it would have been a bad scenario for the Scouts with runners on second and third and only 1 out. But now Lozano heading the count 0-2. You have to get Krim here at the plate.
He looks to the catcher, Chris Ackerman. The 0-2 pitch. Curveball upstairs and way inside. A little chin music there from Jorge Lozano. 1 ball and 2 strikes, and that one almost missing badly. As if you look in the screen, looks like a big military jet flying over our outfield side. Even the Xenia Scouts can get the big-time military flyovers. I think they just missed the national anthem by maybe an hour or 2. The 1-2 pitch, up and in yet again. Lozano missing in the same spot with the same pitch 2 times in a row. Count evens 2 balls and 2 strikes here in the home half of the 5th inning. Runners at first and second for the Copperheads. And looks like the Scouts have Michael Pineda O'Donnell warming up in the bullpen. They might have to go to him pretty soon.
And that curveball, he missed twice high in the first at-bat, to Bryson Smith in the last at-bat as well. So that curveball just literally isn't breaking down. It's staying high.
Krim swings, foul ball, first base side out of play. We're going to stay at 2-2. And like you said, yeah, he's been missing in that same spot. And certainly a cause for concern, but Lozano has looked very good in the past 3 innings of work, but unfortunately just slip-ups left and right here. We're going to stay at 2-2.
He caught a break there. That curveball was once again high. He got it outside that time instead of inside, but Krim chased.
2-2 again. That one in the dirt gets past Ackerman. Both runners advancing 90 feet. And now with nobody out, the Copperheads with a couple of guys in scoring position. Not good news for the Xenia Scouts.
And that was another curveball. That is 4 straight curveballs from Lozano that haven't even been close to the zone. I'm very confused. I get it, not wanting to give Blaine Krim a fastball to hit, but even give him a fastball high or a fastball a little outside, get him to chase it something.
Especially on 2-2 when you have a pitch to waste. But that is not the reality of the situation, and the count is 3-2. Runners at second and third, the pitch for Lozano, and that one, a curveball on the inside, was fouled down the third base line. We're going to stay at 3-2.
Yeah, pitching coach Corey Cooves just doesn't want to give Krim a fastball to hit. He's going to keep coming with the off speed and just hope Lozano can find the zone.
I mean, at the end of the day, if you do have to walk someone, you'd probably want to walk this guy, even if it means putting the tying run on. Here's the pitch, and that one will walk him in the dirt. Ball 4. The bases are juiced now with nobody help for Matt Harrison.
And Harrison, who we have mentioned, has been struggling as of late. The base is loaded now, so you can go to any base, and with a 3-run lead for the Scouts, they don't have to move the infield in. Get a couple outs on a ground ball. Hopefully Lozano can maybe get a strikeout here, but you can sacrifice a run for an out here.
So the pride of Cross Lanes, West Virginia, Matt Harrison to the plate. The bases are loaded for the Southern Ohio Copperheads. First pitch, curveball. That one on the inside, 1 ball and no strikes. Harrison, 7 for 17 with 2 doubles and 5 RBIs against the Scouts. A double and a home run in the first 2 games against Xenia. Those were the first 2 ball games of the season. The 1-0 pitch, that one hit foul on the ground, third base side. The count evens up 1-1. It's Daniel McFarland at third, Bryson Smith at second, and Blaine Krim at first here in the home half of the 5th. The Scouts put up 3 in the top of the 5th. That's the difference in this ball game, a 6-3 Scout lead. But the Copperheads looking to strike back here in the home half of the inning. The 1-1 pitch from Lozano. That one fastball low, 2 balls and 1 strike.
And he doesn't have anywhere to put him now. So you're going to have to give Harrison something to hit here soon.
As previously mentioned, the Scouts have Michael Pineda O'Donnell warming up in the bullpen. Matt Harrison bats from the right side here against the righty Jorge Lozano. The 2-1 pitch. That one hit right back at Lozano up the middle. A diving second baseman, Ange Bourgeois, will not be able to get there. 2 runs will come home to score. And just like that, an RBI single off the bat of our 2 RBI single off the bat of Matt Harrison makes the Scouts lead just 1.
And somebody's got to get to that ball. Bourgeois dove right over it. Takis at short. His glove right on. I don't know how to describe this.
Yeah, it was very bang, but you got the first part right. That
Bourgeois dove right over it. The ball went right under Takis's glove. Excuse me.
Yeah, what you can't totally blame Takis for, granted that his line of sight was completely blocked by the fact that Bourgeois had just dove over the ball.
That is correct.
But ultimately, at the end of the day, someone's got to make the play, and if you're Ange Bourgeois and you know that Takis is going to have a better shot backing that up, because what's the advantage if you're Bourgeois and you make the play and then you're just on the ground with the ball and you're not going to be able to tag second base quick enough?
The second run wouldn't have scored.
Yeah, the second run wouldn't have scored. So ultimately, I mean, a hit for sure. They're not going to mark that one as an error.
Nope.
But certainly an error of omission, and that is going to be it for Jorge Lozano's day. So Michael Pineda O'Donnell is going to come into pitch, and he inherits a jam for himself. Runners at first and second here with nobody out in the top of the 5th. The Scouts leading by just 1. So a nail-biter here already at Grady's Field in Xenia. You don't want to miss it, but we are going to step off for just a second. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back. You are listening to Xenia Scouts Baseball on the Xenia Scouts Radio Network. Michael Pineda O'Donnell in to pitch. He will pitch to Ty Sunken here with Copperheads at first and second and nobody out. First pitch showing bunt is Sunken. That ball on the inside, Sunken pulls back. 1 ball and no strikes to Ty Sunken. Sunken's 1 for 1 on the day. He has reached base both times. A single back in the first. He drew a walk in the third. That is his 16th walk of the year. That now puts him in second on the Southern Ohio Copperheads. So he shows bunt yet again. O'Donnell has yet to even deliver. He pulls back. That pitch, a curveball in there for a called strike. 1 ball and 1 strike now to Ty Sunken.
And it'll be interesting to see what Sunken does. He shows bunt very, very early. That time he pulled it back like he was going to hit if he got a fastball to hit. And he drew Ring and Roddy in at the corners.
Sunken, a 308 hitter on the year. The pitch, fouled straight back into the screen. Michael Pineda O'Donnell ahead in this count, 1 ball and 2 strikes.
And definitely a change in velocity from Lozano to Pineda O'Donnell here. You can already see throwing Sunken off a little. Let's see if Mike can get out of a jam.
So Mike ahead in the count, 1 and 2 here. It's Blaine Krim at second, Matt Harrison at first. 2 runs have already come home to score here for the Copperheads. The 1-2 pitch. That pitch delivers just on the outside. Evens the count 2 and 2.
Mike, a 6.41 ERA on the year, but that ERA was over 10 at one point. He has pitched very good for the Scouts in the last few weeks or so. 26 2/3 innings pitched in 10 appearances.
Basically ever since making that switch to the bullpen. The 2-2 pitch. And that ball is hit on the ground, third base side. A diving Joey Roddy gets there. He'll step on first or step on third to get the force there. The throw over to first will not be in time, but a tremendous defensive play by Joey Roddy. Diving, gets the ball, defends the third base line, gets the force. It would have been almost too incredible if he'd gotten the ball over, but the lead runner is retired, and a big first out there for Michael Pineda O'Donnell.
Huge play by Joey Roddy at third. Definitely saved the tying run. Now you have an out here. The double play would end the inning for O'Donnell.
So the batter is now Matt McCauley. Dan McCauley, I should say. A 184 hitter on the year. He has grounded into 1 double play so far this season. McCauley, certainly not an everyday guy. And if you'll remember, McCauley came in as a defensive substitution when the starting catcher, Chase Thurber, was out following an injury just in the top of this inning. McCauley, 184. He has 7 hits and 38 at-bats, a double, a home run, and 5 RBIs. 1 ball and no strikes here. Runners at first and second here with 1 away for the Copperheads. The Scouts lead by a score of 6-5. O'Donnell looks back to second. Now he delivers the pitch, and that ball, swing and a miss. 1 ball and 1 strike.
And just to finish up Mike's numbers, he's only given up 20 earned runs, and I say that, 19 earned runs, 32 hits in 26 2/3 innings, so a little over a hit an inning, but only 19 earned runs, so the hits haven't done too much damage.
And O'Donnell looks back over to second.
10 walks, 13 strikeouts for Mike as well.
The Copperheads with 2 runs on 2 hits so far this inning. The pitch. Curveball on the inside. 2 balls and a strike. McCauley. From Ohio University, of course, Ohio University, where the Copperheads are located out of. That's in Athens, Ohio, Division I program. The Bobcats of the Mid-American Conference. Pitched there from O'Donnell. That one low and away. 3 balls and 1 strike, and O'Donnell just missing on these last couple of pitches.
That's exactly what I was going to say. He's missed the corners by about an inch or 2. And now he's down in the count, 3-1.
Dan McCauley, 1 for 7 against the Scouts so far this season. He does have 2 RBIs. The pitch, that one fouled straight back down. The count goes full, 3 balls and 2 strikes.
Now let's see what O'Donnell comes with on the biggest pitch of this inning for him. 3-2, a walk loads the bases. And out here Well, that'd be huge for Xenia.
Let's see what pitching coach Corey Coombs draws up. 3 balls and 2 strikes. It's the righty Michael Pineda O'Donnell versus Dan McCauley. He bats from the right side. O'Donnell looks back to second. He sets and delivers. And that ball fouled straight back into the plate yet again. We're going to stay at 3-2. McCauley did not play with the Ohio Bobcats this past season. The Bobcats, of course, making an NCAA tournament appearance after winning the Mid-American Conference tournament. So 3-2 coming here yet again. And the pitch will not be thrown as O'Donnell looks back to the lead runner, Matt Harrison, over at second. It's Matt Harrison at second, Ty Sunken at first. 1 away here. In the bottom of the 5th, the Scouts lead by just 1. The 3-2 pitch. And that ball hit high in the air. Center field. Francisco Andino ranging. He'll make the grab. Matt Harrison will fake the tag, but not end up dancing. So out number 2 there for Michael Pineda O'Donnell. And he is just 1 out away from getting out of this inning without surrendering the lead.
A big out for Pineda O'Donnell, and you said it exactly correct. You come in a ball game, first and second, nobody down. You get the first 2 batters out. You're an out away from saving this inning for the Scouts.
So he will have to retire Zach Walsh. Walsh is 0 for 1 on the day. A 262 hitter on the year. He bats from the right side against the righty O'Donnell. First pitch curveball. That one finds the zone, a called strike 1. O'Donnell using the inside part of the plate that time. Walsh from Division I Santa Clara University out in Santa Clara, California. The 0-1 pitch fouled out of play, third base side, and Michael Pineda O'Donnell ahead in the count, 0-2 here.
Yep, he has any pitch he wants to work with. He's really getting everything to find the zone here in his first inning of relief.
So no balls and 2 strikes, but 2 away. O'Donnell looks to the catcher, Chris Ackerman. It's Matt Harrison at second and Ty Sunken at first. O'Donnell taking a long time. Now he delivers the pitch. Fouled out of play. Right field side. We're going to stay at 0-2. Walsh 0 for 1 on the day. He flew out to right his first time up. Hit by a pitch his second time up. The 0-2. Swing and a miss. Strike 3. Zach Walsh goes down swinging, and Michael Pineda O'Donnell saves the inning and saves the lead for the Scouts here in the bottom of the 5th. But the Copperheads do get 2 on the board. That's 2 runs on a couple of hits and a couple of guys left aboard for Southern Ohio. We have played 5 innings of baseball. The Scouts lead the Southern Ohio Copperheads by a score of 6-5. Don't go anywhere, folks. We'll be right back. You are listening to Xenia Scouts Baseball on the Xenia Scouts Radio Network. Inning number 6 of baseball here between the Scouts and the Southern Ohio Copperheads. Xenia leads by a score of 6-5. The Scouts put up 3 runs in the top of the 5th. The Copperheads responded with 2 of their own in the home half. First pitch to Ange Bourgeois is a grounder over towards first base. The first baseman, Matt Harrison, underhand tosses it to the pitcher, Greg Dunham, who steps on the bag. Out number 1. A good job there by Greg Dunham to cover the bag, and a 1-pitch out for Greg Dunham here in the top of the 6th. So mark that down as a 3-1 in your books. And now it's going to be Ryan Park to the plate. Ryan Park is 1 for 3 on the day. His single back in the 5th ended up sparking what was a 3-run inning for the Scouts just 1 inning ago. First pitch to him inside, 1 ball and no strikes to Ryan Park. Park, the designated hitter from Point Loma Nazarene, batting from the left side here against the righty. The pitch. That one finds the zone, a called strike, evens things up 1-1 here with 1 away in the top of the 6th inning. Park is yet to draw a walk today, and that's pretty uncommon as he takes a curveball there in there for a called strike. Falling behind in the count 1-2, but Ryan's 23 walks is tops on the Xenia Scouts ball club. The 1-2 pitch now to Ryan Park. Curveball fouled out of play, third base side. We will stay at 1-2. Park, a .303 hitter on the year. 4 doubles, 9 RBIs. The 1-2 pitch. That pitch up and away. 2 balls and 2 strikes down to Ryan Park. It's Park at the plate. Donald Ring awaits on deck. The 2-2. And Park hits that one on the ground, third base side. Coming in is the third baseman, Walsh. He rockets it over to first in time. 2 away. Slowly developing play down the third base line, but a good job by the third baseman, Walsh, to get there and get the ball over there in time. So 2 up, 2 down here for Greg Dunham, who surrendered 5 hits just 1 inning ago. And one of the guys who he allowed a hit to, Donald Ring, represents what could be the third and final out of the inning here for Dunham. First pitch. Ring hits that one on the ground towards short. The short towards second. The second baseman, Antonzik, fields it, throws over to first in time for out number 3. So the Scouts are retired in order. 3 groundouts, no runs on no hits, and nobody left aboard. We have reached the Scouts baseball on the Xenia Scouts Radio Network. We go into the bottom of the 6th inning here, folks. The Scouts leading the Southern Ohio Copperheads by a score of 6-5. And Michael Pineda O'Donnell out for his 2nd inning of work. He will face Justin Antonzik, Philip Tomasulo, and Daniel McFarland, the 9, 1, and 2 spots in the Southern Ohio order. First pitch to Antonzik. That one a curveball taken just low. 1 ball and no strikes. Antonzik is 1 for 2 on the day. He singled his first time up, went down swinging his second time up. Antonzik, a .317 hitter on the year with 13 RBIs. The 1-0 pitch. Swing and a miss there. Evens the count, 1 ball and 1 strike. And Tonzik, the native of Westerville, Ohio, actually played high school baseball with your good friend and mine, Gabe Genovesi. 1-1. O'Donnell delivers, and that ball is roped into deep center field. Going back is the center fielder, Francisco Andina. He'll come under it and make the grab, out number 1. Justin Antonzik is retired. And now back to the top of the order with Philip Tomasula. Tomasula, a .211 hitter on the year with 9 RBIs. But here's the catch. He has 17 stolen bases and 16 walks on the year. So he is a speed threat when he gets on. He bats from the right side here against the righty Michael Pineda O'Donnell. First pitch, Tomasulo takes that one all the way, a called strike. 0-1 here with 1 away in the top of the 6th. 6-5 is your score in favor of the Scouts. The pitch. And that one hit right back at Michael Pineda O'Donnell. He gloves it, underhand toss over to first in time. Out number 2. So quickly, 2 up, 2 down. Mark that one down. It's a 1-3 in your books. And now with 2 away, Daniel McFarland comes to the plate for the Southern Ohio Copperheads. McFarland from Eastern Kentucky. He is 0 for 2 on the day. He has scored a couple of runs. He has reached base twice. First on an error by the first baseman, Donald Ring. He also walked in the 5th. The only time he was truly retired came back in the 2nd. He went down swinging. The first strikeout victim of Jorge Lozano. First pitch to him comes way in below the knees. 1 ball and no strikes here with 2 away in the home half of the 6th. Bats from the left side against the righty. The pitch from O'Donnell is fouled straight back over the screen and over the awning that we have here over the stands at Grady's Field. So evens up the count, 1 ball and 1 strike, now with 2 away. McFarland, a .295 hitter on the year, 7 doubles, 15 RBIs. The 1-1 pitch. Swing and a miss there. Slider comes all the way on the inside. McFarland chasing all the way. So Mike now ahead in this count, 1-2. Nobody on for the Copperheads and 2 outs here in the home half of the 6th. O'Donnell, there's the pitch. And that one on the outside in the dirt. The count moves 1 ball and 2 strikes. Or should I say 2 balls and 2 strikes? Excuse me. McFarland, the 2-hitter in this order. Bryson Smith awaits on deck. If McFarland can get on. Mike looks to the catcher, Chris Ackerman. He delivers the 2-2 pitch, and that one is hit ground ball up the middle. Shortstop coming in, Aaron Takis. He cannot pick up the ball. That will be an error on Aaron Takis all the way, and the inning should be over, but instead, now you got to face the 3-hitter and a very dangerous hitter in Bryson Smith.
It would have been a very close play. It was a slow ground ball, but directly up the middle, so Takis couldn't charge it. He had to go get it behind the second base bag. It would have been a close play, but that is an error, and we don't know what would have happened.
Yeah, certainly a tough one there. So McFarland, he's safe at first, and Bryson Smith to the plate. Smith is 2 for 3 on the day. A couple of singles. He has scored a couple of runs. He bats from the right side. First pitch will be held off there as Pineda O'Donnell throws back over to first. Daniel McFarland slides back in safely. Bryson Smith, a .273 hitter on the year. 6 doubles, 1 home run, 9 RBIs, and 13 walks. The runner at first is Daniel McFarland. He represents the tying run in this ball game. The Scouts holding on to just a 1-run lead with 2 away here in the bottom of the 6th inning. Curveball finds the zone, a called strike. 0-1 the count to Bryson Smith.
Good curveball by O'Donnell. Smith probably sitting fastball on the first pitch of the at-bat. Now O'Donnell ahead in the count. Has him off his toes.
Smith bats from the right side against the righty Michael Pineda O'Donnell. As O'Donnell will throw back over to first yet again. We will stay at 0-1.
McFarland 7 for 10 on stolen bases this year, so he is a threat to steal.
The 0-1 pitch. The runner goes. That ball's going to get past Chris Ackerman, sliding in safely. Will be Daniel McFarland, and the Copperheads have the tying run in scoring position here with 2 away.
So all of a sudden, you get 2 quick outs to begin the inning, and now you're 1 hit away from a tying run surrendered.
The count, 1 ball and 1 strike here. Smith, like we said, 2 for 3 on the day, a talented guy, the hilltopper of Western Kentucky. O'Donnell looks back to second. Now he looks to Chris Ackerman, the pitch. And that ball is hit high in the air, deep center field, but just not deep enough. Andina comes under it and makes the grab for out number 3. So no runs on no hits, 1 error, and 1 man left for the Copperheads in the home half of the 6th inning. We have played 6 innings of baseball here. The Scouts lead the Southern Ohio Copperheads by a score of 6-5. Don't go anywhere, folks. Gabe Genovesi will bring you all the action when we come back. You are listening to Xenia Scouts Baseball on the Xenia Scouts Radio Network.
A 6-5 lead for the Scouts over the Southern Ohio Copperheads as we head to the top of the 7th inning. Kyle Casserly will lead off for the Scouts here in the 7th, followed by Chris Ackerman and Jordan Lambert, the 4-5-6 hitters for Xenia. Greg Dunham back out on the mound for the Copperheads here in the 7th. The first pitch. Curveball in there for strike 1. Dunham, despite allowing 5 hits in the 5th inning, the Scouts got 3 runs in the 5th, has stayed out there and worked through jams. He's back out in the 7th. The 0-1 swung on and missed. A good changeup from Dunham. 0-2 the count. The Scouts 3 runs in the 4th inning, 3 runs in the 5th inning. The Copperheads 3 runs in the 1st and 2 in the 5th. The pitch. Line drive, base hit, right field. That ball's going to roll and be cut off by the right fielder, Tomasulo. Casserly trying for 2, and he's in there sliding. A leadoff double for Kyle Casserly here in the 7th, and that'll bring up Chris Ackerman.
And Kyle Casserly with a 2-double day. Granted, those doubles coming 2 weeks apart, but nonetheless, Casserly now with doubles 9 and 10 on the year for the first baseman from Wright State. And Gabe, we have seen him just improve significantly as the season's gone on.
A 3-for-4 day for Cass. Now the first pitch to Ackerman. At the knee, strike 1. Kyle Casserly now has 9 doubles on the year. That is now first on the Xenia Scouts team. He stands on second, nobody down here in the 7th. The 1-0 to the 0-1 outside, 1-1. Ackerman 0 for 3 today. He did reach base in the 5th inning on a fielder's choice and came around to score the 6th run of the game. He bats from the right side. A 6-5 Scouts lead here in the 7th. The pitch. Grounded up the middle. A good play by the shortstop Smith. Fires to first, 1 down. Casserly moves to 3rd.
Exactly, gave a productive out there for Chris Ackerman, advancing Kyle Casserly another 90 feet, and a super hot hitter in Jordan Lambert up with an opportunity to add what would be an extremely much-needed insurance run for the Scouts.
Lambert 3 for 3 today. 2 singles, an RBI double. One of those singles was an RBI single as well. So 3 for 3 with 2 RBIs for Lambert. He bats from the left side. The pitch. Fastball misses outside, 1-0. Lambert, of course, ended the last game before the All-Star break with a walk-off double against the Lima Locos in the 9th. Now the pitch. Low below the knees, 2-0 to Lambert. So he's 5 of his last 6 from the plate. We've seen him get hot this season before.
Yeah, as we go into this second game, following this game, Lambert's going to be first on the Scouts in batting average almost surely.
Anything deep in the air would score a run, though. The 2-0. Chopped, first baseline, foul ball, 2-1. So Lambert doesn't even necessarily need a hit here. Put something deep in the outfield. It would score Casserly from third and extend the Scouts' lead to 2. And with the way this ballgame has been going, with these innings being high scoring, 2-3 spots for the Scouts, a 3 spot for the Copperheads, 2 runs in the 5th for the Copperheads. They could use an insurance run. The 2-1, curveball, skied high, foul territory right field, out of play into the Copperheads bullpen, 2-2.
And almost probably more beneficial for the Copperheads, even if that one was in play, to almost ignore it, because it's certainly a sacrifice fly there going to score Kyle Casserly.
Count now 2-2 on Lambert. Casserly stands on third. The pitch. Swung on and missed, strike 3. That is a huge out for Greg Dunham. He gets the hottest hitter in this Scouts lineup swinging, and there's 2 down here in the 7th.
Oh, yeah, and Jordan Lambert's certainly going to want that back. But Greg Dunham, who has already, because he has pitched this entire game, all 7 innings so far, and with Lambert being 3 for 3 against him, getting him to K there in a key spot, but he still has to retire 1 more, and the man to the plate is Aaron Tekis. First
pitch to Takis, line drive, foul ball, out of play down the third base line, 0-1. Takis 1 for 3 today. He has reached twice on an error by the shortstop Smith and an RBI single his last time up in the 5th inning, which gave the Scouts a 6-3 lead. The 0-1 pitch, curveball at the knees, strike 2.
Yeah, Takis might have wanted that one. That ball ends up landing right in his hot spot, but now he's behind in this count, 0-2 with 2 away.
The 0-2 pitch, another curveball fouled off behind the plate. Will stay at 0-2. Takis came into today a .270 hitter on the year. The average had started to raise after his 4 for 4 day in Richmond about 2 weeks ago. He's hitting .333 in his last 10 games. 3 RBIs, make it 4 in those 10 as well. The pitch. Line drive, base hit left field. An RBI single for Aaron Takis. And the Scouts lead 7-5 here in the 7th.
And look at the poise there from Aaron Takis. Takis goes the other way there. Just a hard line drive, even after falling behind in the count 0-2, and the Scouts desperately needed another insurance run for their bullpen to work with. Great job there by Takis, his 2nd RBI of the day.
And in steps Joey Roddy. He takes the ball low, 1-0. Aaron Takis, 2 RBIs today. So that's 5 RBIs in his last 11 games for the Scouts. Now the 1-0 to Roddy. Chopped foul behind the plate, 1-1. Roddy's 0 for 2 with a sac fly today, so he picked up an RBI back at the 4th inning, his 9th RBI of the year. Now the pitch. Curveball misses off the outside edge, 2-1 to Roddy.
And just for your information, folks, the Jazz and the Hamilton Joes have gone final. The Jazz picking up the first game of the doubleheader by a score of 5-4.
So that is bad news if you are a Scouts fan. The 2-1 pitch, Takis going, ball in the dirt, the throw high and away. Takis steals second base. Runner in scoring position for Joey Roddy, who now has a 3-1 count.
And Roddy with the hitter's count there, but great job by Aaron Takis. A good jump Doesn't really matter, though. The throw from Dan McCauley was nowhere close to where it needed to be.
Roddy bats from the right side. The third baseman today for the Scouts trying to come through and keep the 7th inning alive. Xenia leads 7-5. The pitch. Line foul. 3-2. Roddy hasn't had success against these Southern Ohio Copperheads. 1 for 14 with 6 walks and a hit by pitch, however, against the Copperheads. We know how this Copperheads bullpen has struggled to throw strikes, so that's where the 6 walks and the hit by pitch comes in. Dunham sets. The payoff pitch. Chopped fair, first base line. Roddy running, and now the ball will roll foul. And we'll stay at 3-2. That ball stayed fair for the longest time.
And the catcher, Dan McCauley, is certainly not pleased, and neither is Copperheads manager Phil Butler. I think they're claiming that Roddy may have kicked the ball.
I don't know. I thought he hopped right over it.
He certainly, I don't think he kicked the ball, but.
And if they're arguing that he interfered and they would have made the play for the out, I don't know if they would have got Roddy at first base.
Yeah, but interference within itself is enough.
And out. You're right. You're right. My apologies there.
No, it's all good.
Phil Butler is very angry.
Well, that's what happens, you know. It's like 90 degrees out. Things aren't going your way. They think they should be out of this one. And Phil's a really good guy. You don't really see him come out like this. I talked to Phil before the game for a couple of minutes, and he was joking around with Bubba, but he is clearly not pleased.
The count will stay 3-2 on Joey Roddy.
Well, it seems that our broadcasters on the other side have a different interpretation of whether that ball was certainly going in fair territory, no doubt about it.
We think Roddy easily hopped over it. They seem to think that Roddy definitely hit the ball.
Went Lionel Messi and kicked it into foul ground. Maybe not, but I think we'll take the umpire's side on this one. But still 3-2 here to Joey Roddy. So
Takis leads off second. The Scouts' lead is 7-5 over the Copperheads. 2 down here in the 7th. The pitch. Ground ball toward third, foul territory. We'll do 3-2 all over again. Roddy again, a .169 hitter, but he's hitting .258 in his last 10 games. Has 3 multi-hit games. All of them have been the last 8. The payoff pitch. Curveball popped up. Foul territory, and it'll go out of play. We'll stay at 3-2.
And Roddy's staying alive in what has been a long at-bat so far. Certainly working. The starting pitcher, Greg Dunham here. The Copperheads still with nobody going in the bullpen. It'll be interesting to see how long they think Greg Dunham's going to go.
Dunham sets. Takis will be going. The 3-2 pitch. Foul ball down the first base line. He might have chased ball 4 there, but you can't argue with him protecting the plate. And the count's at 3-2.
Yeah, no, Roddy's certainly chasing ball 4 there, but like you said, it's part of what has been a good at-bat.
Dunham sets. The 3-2 pitch. Curveball popped into left center field. The center fielder, McFarland, going back, and he made the grab. A good play by Daniel McFarland to range to his right and make the play. The Scouts get a run on 2 hits, an RBI single from Aaron Takis. And it's 7-5 Scouts as we head to the bottom of the 7th inning. You're listening to Xenia Scouts Baseball on the Xenia Scouts Radio Network. We head to the bottom of the 7th inning here at Grady's Field in Xenia, Ohio. A 7-5 Xenia Scouts lead over the Southern Ohio Copperheads. Again, this is a continuation of a game that got rained out on July 7th in Athens, Ohio. So despite being at Grady's Field, as the first pitch to Blaine Krim is lined up the middle, base hit. Krim leads the 7th off with a single for the Copperheads off of Michael Pineda O'Donnell. 1 on, nobody down.
And nothing new with Blaine Krim, one of the most talented players in this league, and his second hit of the day. Both of them have been absolute liners, just smokes into the outfield. So Pineda has to work with 1 on, nobody out.
The continuation from July 7th, we only played 4 batters. We got through 4 batters in Athens. Now the first pitch to Matt Harrison from Michael Pineda O'Donnell. Outside, ball 1. So the Scouts had to continue this game. They had runners on 2nd and 3rd with 2 outs in the 1st. They ended up getting no runs. But Xenia is technically the away team in this game. The 1-0 pitch. Swung on and missed. 1-1. A good off-speed pitch from Pineda O'Donnell.
And just another out-of-town scoreboard update for you folks at home. 5-0 Lorain County over the Steam after winning a baseball.
Wow. So Lorain County jumps on the first place Steam. By the way, Lorain County, the worst team in the league.
By a lot.
Against the first place Steam here in the Southern Division. So that would help the Scouts out a lot.
It would help everyone out. It would help the Jazz out.
Yes, it would. The pitch. Line drive just off the top of Joey Roddy's glove. And that'll have to be a base hit into left field for Matt Harrison. 1st and 2nd, nobody down for the Copperheads here in the 7th. That line drive just too high for Joey Roddy. And the Copperheads have the tying run on 1st here in the bottom of the 7th.
And 2 very hard hit balls in the first 2 batters here in the 7th off of Michael Pineda O'Donnell. Will be interesting to see if the Scouts send anyone to the bullpen, worrying if O'Donnell might be running out of gas.
And now pitching coach Corey Coobs is going to come out and have a conversation with Pineda O'Donnell.
Landon Williams, I think I see out there in the bullpen right now.
Williams, of course, threw an inning in the All-Star game this past Tuesday. Gave up 2 hits but no runs, so a good outing for Landon Williams at the Great Lakes League All-Star game. He would certainly be a candidate to come in and finish out these last couple innings. A 7-5 Scouts lead over the Copperheads here in the bottom of the 7th. 2 on, nobody down for Southern Ohio. It's Blaine Krim at 2nd, Matt Harrison at 1st after both single to lead off the 7th. Ty Sunken will be at the plate.
And Sunken, a guy who has done some damage so far. He's 1 for 2. Safe enough fielder's choices last time. Also has drawn a walk, so he's been on base all 3 times he's come to the plate. And if you're Michael Pineda O'Donnell, a big out that you have to make here. Sunken has grounded into 1 double play so far this year. If the Scouts could get number 2, that would be big.
Sunken scoring to bunt. Now pulls it back. O'Donnell delivers a strike in the outside corner. 0-1. And we saw Ty Sunken do this his last time up as well, squaring to bunt, and each time deciding to pull it back and hit. He ended up grounding into a fielder's choice when Joey Roddy made the great diving play over at 3rd in the 5th inning to save the tying run from scoring. Roddy tagged the base at 3rd. O'Donnell ahead in the count, 0-1 now. The pitch. Sunken this time lays down the bunt, first base line. Ring's going to go to 1st with it. They get the out. Runners move to 2nd and 3rd, 1 down for the Copperheads here in the 7th.
And Donald Ring looking over to 3rd to see if he can get the lead runner, but he had no chance there to get Blaine Krim. So the sacrifice bunt successful for Ty Sunken, and now Dan McCauley. I'll check that. Looks like Connor Regan.
Regan will pinch hit for McCauley. So Thurber was the starting catcher. McCauley comes in for him because of Thurber's injury in the middle of the game. And now the first pitch to Connor Regan. Curveball way inside and above the head. I don't know how he got out of the way of that one, but he did. 1-0.
Yeah, that was a quick duck there by Connor Regan. Regan's a .281 hitter on the year with 9 RBIs. He has 4 extra base hits, all doubles.
So Regan, a better hitter than Dan McCauley by a lot. McCauley's average was under 200. The 1-0 delivery from O'Donnell. A swing and a miss at the chest. 1-1. 7-5 Scouts lead over the Copperheads here in the bottom of the 7th. Michael Pineda O'Donnell on in relief for the Scouts. His 3rd inning of relief. Runners on 2nd and 3rd for Southern Ohio. The 1-1 pitch. Just off the outside corner. 2-1 to Connor Regan.
Yeah, Williams still warming up out there in the bullpen.
O'Donnell takes the sign from the catcher, Chris Ackerman. The 2-1 pitch. Curveball in there, strike 2.
Oh, great curveball there from Michael Pineda O'Donnell.
Count even on Connor Regan. Regan bats from the right side. Waving the bat a couple of times in front of his face toward O'Donnell. Now above his back shoulder. The 2-2 pitch. Swung on and missed, strike 3. O'Donnell gets the strikeout. 2 down here in the 7th.
Tremendous pitch there from Michael Pineda O'Donnell, and now the man who, unless there's a pinch hitter, it'll be Zach Walsh. But it looks like there will be a pinch hitter.
They're going to pinch hit once again. And with 2 down here in the 7th, it'll be Evan Haberly, the batter for the Copperheads. And boy, they brought in a pretty good hitter from the left side, to say the least. A .365 average for Haberly. That is 7th in the Great Lakes League. A hit here would probably score 2 and tie this game at 7. The first pitch to Evan Haberly. Off the outside part of the plate. 1-0. Haberly, 3 for 6 with 3 walks and an RBI in 2 games against the Scouts. He was an all-star. This past Tuesday in the all-star game, he went 0 for 2 at Prasco Park. Now the 1-0 delivery from O'Donnell. At the knee, strike 1.
Good pitch there from Michael Pineda O'Donnell. A close one at that.
O'Donnell gets back on the rubber. A 7-5 Xenia Scouts lead over the Southern Ohio Copperheads here in the bottom of the 7th. 2 on, 2 out for Evan Haberly of Southern Ohio. The 1-1 pitch. Low and inside, 2-1.
And you almost wonder. I mean, I guess Justin Antonzik, the man on deck's hitting .317, so intentionally walking Haberly, not that great of an idea.
Haberly again hitting .365, so you got a couple of really good threats for the Copperheads in these next 2 batters. Trying to tie the game here in the 7th. The 2-1 pitch. Way outside, ball 3. And now O'Donnell behind in the count either has to give Haberly the best hitter average-wise on this Copperheads team, either a pitch to hit or you walk him and you load the bases for Antonzik.
I just say tread lightly. You do have the open base, regardless of the fact that Antonzik's also a good hitter on deck. You don't want to give him any easy cheese here.
The 3-1 pitch. Curveball at the knee. Strike 2. What a pitch from O'Donnell.
Yeah, Mike painting the inside corner low that time, and lower inside corner, I should say. And O'Donnell 1 pitch away from potentially getting out of this.
Blaine Krim on 3rd, Matt Harrison on 2nd. Haberly at the plate for the Copperheads. The payoff pitch. Low and in, ball 4, and that'll load the bases for Justin Antonzik. And I'm wondering if maybe that was if Haberly gets on, we're going to bring in Landon Williams to take care of Antonzik, but that doesn't look to be the case.
Well, you never know. Bubba could be taking as much time as possible, which is something that he tends to do. You want to – oh, no. Looks like they're going to let O'Donnell finish this one off.
The base is loaded. Antonzik bats from the right side. The first pitch. Line drive, base hit center field. 1 run will score. Andina comes up throwing. Ring cuts it off. The throw to the plate is way high. It slipped out of the hands of Donald Ring, and we have ourselves the tie ball game. 7-7 here in the 7th.
Oh, and that is an absolute – that's terrible, unfortunately. And Donald Ring knows it. You literally could see the look on his face. The ball just slips out of his hand and goes about 10 feet up and 10 feet to the left of Chris Ackerman. Like, couldn't have been any farther away from where it needed to be. And that's unfortunate because if the throw had been on target, the runner at home's easily going to be out.
I think he would have been out as well. Instead, Harrison beats Ring's throw, and we're tied at 7. And now the go-ahead run on third. The first pitch to Philip Tomasulo. Curveball chopped toward third, and foul ball. 0-1 to Philip Tomasulo. Justin Antonzik, the sophomore from Michigan State, delivers a 2 RBI single to tie the game at 7 here in the bottom of the 7th inning. Philip Tomasulo, the leadoff hitter for the Copperheads, bats from the right side. He's 0 for 3 with a walk today. The 0-1 pitch. Line drive center field. Andina retreating to his right makes the grab. And that'll do it for the Copperheads here in the 7th. But they do what they need to do. 2 runs on 3 hits for Southern Ohio. They leave 2 on base. And we're tied at 7 heading to the 8th. You're listening to Scouts Baseball on the Xenia Scouts Radio Network. We head to the top of the 8th inning. A 7-7 tie between the Xenia Scouts and the Southern Ohio Copperheads here in Xenia, Ohio. Jesse James in to pitch for the Southern Ohio Copperheads. He will face Francisco Andina, Ange Bourgeois, and Ryan Park, the 9-1-2 hitters for the Scouts here in the 8th.
Jesse James, he has thrown 15 innings of baseball so far this season. He has allowed 27 hits, 21 runs, each and every single one of them earned. He has walked 5, struck out 8, a 1-0 record, a 12.660 ERA.
The Copperheads score 2 in the bottom of the 7th to tie this game at 7. And now it'll be up to Francisco Andina to get things started here in the 8th for the Scouts. Again, both teams come into this game 15-15 on the year. Both teams 2 games back of the Richmond Jazz for the last playoff spot in the Southern Division with 11 games to go. This could not be a more critical game as we come down the stretch. The first pitch to Andina, high at the chin, 1-0. The Richmond Jazz won earlier today in the first game of their doubleheader. So either of these teams, whichever team wins, will not gain ground on the Jazz, but whoever wins will take sole possession of 3rd place in the Southern Division. The 1-0 to Andina, high and outside, 2-0. Andina 0 for 2 with the walk today. Flew out to the right fielder Tomasulo his first time up. Walked in the 4th inning. Struck out swinging in the 5th. The 2-0. Low in the dirt. 3-0 to Francisco Andina. The 5'8 lefty has drawn a lot of walks this year. 22 on the season to be exact. That is 7th in the Great Lakes League.
And for the Scouts, it's absolutely critical. Just trying to get this leadoff man aboard. And Andina doing good here. 3 balls and no strikes to him.
The pitch. Catches the outside corner. 3-1. Game one of a doubleheader here this evening between the Scouts and the Copperheads. Again, have to play all 9 innings here in game number 1 because it was a continuation of a game that got rained out in Athens after only 4 batters. The 3-1 pitch. At the knees, strike 2 to Francisco Andina. So Jesse James, after falling behind in the count, 3-0, delivers 2 straight strikes to Andina, and the count is full.
Well, he seems to have settled in a bit here.
James sets the 3-2 delivery. Swung on and missed, strike 3. Andina goes down swinging, 1 away here in the 8th.
For Jesse James there, that's just his 9th strikeout of the season in 15 innings pitched. 15 in the third now, you should say.
And in steps the leadoff hitter, Ange Bourgeois, for the Scouts. Bourgeois 0 for 3 today. Couple of groundouts and a strikeout looking back in the 4th. The first pitch, curveball high and away, 1-0. James the righty, Bourgeois bats from the left side. The 1-0 pitch. Fastball at the knees, strike 1. Ange Bourgeois, his strikeout back in the 4th was only his 2nd strikeout in his past 11 games. The 1-1. Swung on, grounded toward first. The first baseman, Harrison, picks it up, flips to James, 2 down here in the 8th.
And a couple of easy outs there, and Jesse James, the man who is averaging more than 1 run allowed per inning, has gotten 2 easy outs here against Xenia, Xenia, of course, getting 7 runs off of a guy in Greg Dunham who had just a 2.72 ERA coming into this contest.
First pitch to Ryan Park, curveball at the knees, strike 1. Park, a switch hitter, batting from the left side against the righty James, who is working very quickly here in the 8th. The 0-1 pitch. Off speed, misses outside, 1-1. Park 1 for 4 today, a single back in the 5th inning. Came around to score the 4th run of the game. The 1-1 pitch. Popped up, foul territory down the third base line and out of play, 1-2. Park steps out, takes a deep breath before he steps back in and touches the outside part of the plate. The 1-2. Curveball in the dirt, 2-2. Scouts and the Copperheads tied at 7 here in the top of the 8th inning. The winner takes over sole possession of 3rd place in the Southern Division and stays just 2 back of the Richmond Jazz for a playoff spot. The pitch. Swung on and missed, strike 3. A 1-2-3 inning for Jesse James out of the bullpen, 2 strikeouts. And we'll head to the bottom of the 8th, tied at 7 here at Grady's Field. You're listening to Scouts Baseball on the Xenia Scouts Radio Network. We head to the bottom of the 8th inning, tied at 7 here at Grady's Field. The Scouts and the Copperheads in a scoring duel. 7 runs on 10 hits for the Scouts, 7 runs on 9 hits for the Copperheads. First pitch from Pineda O'Donnell to Daniel McFarland, lined into right field, base hit. The Copperheads are starting to tee off on Michael Pineda O'Donnell. 3 hits last inning. A leadoff single here in the 8th by McFarland. And in steps Bryson Smith. And no, we are going to have a pinch hitter. Nope, it will be Bryson Smith. I apologize. Smith 2 for 4 today, a couple of singles, an RBI single in the first inning, a couple of flyouts to Ondina in center in the 3rd and the 6th. Landon Williams warming up in the Scouts bullpen for Xenia. Pineda O'Donnell throws over to first. McFarland dives back safely. Now the righty sets. Smith squaring to bunt. McFarland dives back safely at first. Wow. A close play as O'Donnell caught McFarland leaning. Bryson Smith squaring to bunt. Roddy moving in at third. The runner going. Pulls back. Ackerman's throw to second is late. And the go-ahead run moves to second here in the bottom of the 8th inning. Pineda O'Donnell finds himself in a jam. Nobody down. Count 0-1 on Bryson Smith. The Copperheads with the go-ahead run on second. And now we're going to have another conversation between the home plate umpire and Phil Butler. I'm not so sure what this conversation is about. The home plate umpire pointing down the first base line / the Copperheads dugout. 7-7 the score between the Scouts and the Copperheads here in the bottom of the 8th inning. Winner of this game takes over sole possession of 3rd place in the Southern Division. The go-ahead run on second for the Copperheads and Daniel McFarland. Bryson Smith at the plate. The count 0-1 on the sophomore. Smith bats from the right side. The 0-1. Curveball just misses outside. 1-1. Bryson Smith, the Western Kentucky Hilltopper, has struggled the past week. 4 for 27, a 148 average. But he's 2 for 4 today. The 1-1 pitch. Low below the knees, 2-1. One of those 4 hits was a 3-run bomb at the Richmond Jazz in their last game before the All-Star break. A 15-7 loss for the Copperheads. Now O'Donnell steps off. Smith probably just trying to move the runner over for Blaine Krim. The 2-1. Fly ball, medium center field. And this is going to send the runner to third. McFarland will go to third easily. The go-ahead run 90 feet away for the Copperheads with 1 down.
And that's what you wanted if you're Xenia. And Michael Pineda O'Donnell, if he will remain here, and almost looks like he will not. Bubba Cates taking a step out of the dugout. He is staying put for the moment, but now he's going to make the call.
It'll be All-Star against All-Star. Landon Williams against Blaine Krim. If Bubba Cates decides to make the move. Walking out to the mound, looking at the bullpen, and he will. Landon Williams is going to jog out. We're going to step aside just for a little bit as Williams warms up. A 7-7 tie between the Scouts and the Copperheads. Bottom of the 8th. Southern Ohio with the go-ahead run 90 feet away. You're listening to Scouts Baseball on the Xenia Scouts Radio Network. Back here in the bottom of the 8th at Grady's Field, a 7-7 tie between the Scouts and the Copperheads here in the home half of the 8th inning. The Copperheads with the go-ahead run on third base, 1 out here in the 8th. Blaine Krim, the most dangerous hitter in this Copperheads lineup and one of the most dangerous hitters in the league. Due up, he'll face Landon Williams for the Scouts.
And Landon Williams, the man you want on the mound. Williams, he has appeared in 12 games, more than anyone else on the Scouts. 25 and a third innings pitched. He allowed 17 hits. 1 earned run. He has walked 10, struck out 22. A 2-0 record, 4 saves, a 0.35 ERA, a 187 batting average against.
The 0.35 ERA leads the Great Lakes League. The 4 saves is tied 3rd in the league. The batting average against is 5th lowest in the league. If you want one pitcher out there, as Andrew said, it is Landon Williams to face off against Blaine Krim. All-star against all-star here in the bottom of the 8th. 1 down, the Copperheads with the go-ahead runner on 3rd. Anything deep in the air by Blaine Krim will score a run. The first pitch from Williams, low and inside, ball 1.
For those of you who don't know Williams, his go-to pitch, the money pitch, his slider. One of the nastiest breaking balls that you will see in this league, if not the nastiest.
Williams sets the 1-0 pitch. Line drive, base hit left field, an RBI single for Blaine Krim, and the Scouts trail 8-7 here in the bottom of the 8th.
And that was just a matchup of 2 super talented baseball players, and Blaine Krim, for the 3rd time in this ball game, just smokes the ball, and there's no better way to put it. He just smoked the ball, and that brings home the go-ahead run. So the Scouts are going to need to at least get 1 run in the top of the 9th to keep this game going, but this inning isn't over yet.
Matt Harrison steps to the plate. The first pitch to him, slider inside, strike 1. 0-1 on Matt Harrison, who came into today struggling mightily, but he's 2 for 4 today. A couple of singles in his last 2 at-bats. One of them, a 2 RBI single back in the 5th inning. The 0-1 pitch, Krim taking off, high fly ball, shallow center field. Ondina coming in, settling under it. He'll make the grab. Krim retreats back to first, 2 down here in the 8th.
So 1 more out needed here, and Ty Sunken to the end of the plate.
Sunken, 1 for 2 with a walk and a sacrifice bunt today. The sacrifice bunt moved runners over to 2nd and 3rd in the 7th inning. Justin Antonzik ended up delivering a 2 RBI single to tie the game. The first pitch to Sunken. Gets the inside corner, strike 1.
Good curveball there from Williams, inside part of the plate.
Sunken, a 308 hitter on the year. Does have an RBI today with the single back in the 1st inning. The 0-1 pitch, Krim taking off. The throw to 2nd is in time. A good throw from Chris Ackerman. Bourgeois applies the tag. Krim is caught stealing, but boy did Blaine Krim do his job. An RBI single gives the Copperheads an 8-7 lead as we head to the 9th. The Scouts need a run down to their final 3 outs. You're listening to Scouts Baseball on the Xenia Scouts Radio Network. We head to the top of the ninth here at Grady's Field. The Copperheads lead the Xenia Scouts 8-7 here in the ninth. The Scouts down to their final 3 outs, needing 1 run. Donald Ring, Kyle Casserly, and Chris Ackerman, the 3, 4, 5 hitters for Xenia, due up here in the ninth. And the man who just delivered the RBI single to give the Copperheads the lead in the 8th inning, Blaine Krim, is on the mound for Southern Ohio.
Yeah, Blaine Krim, he's appeared in 4 games so far for the Copperheads. He has 4 innings pitched. He's allowed 3 hits and walked 5, striking out 7, a 2.25 ERA. He does have a whip around 2, a 1.76, or a 176 batting average against for Blaine Krim. He has 1 save on the year.
Krim at Mississippi College had 10 appearances on the mound his freshman year. In his sophomore campaign last year, he only had 2 appearances for the Choctaws. In his 37 innings pitched in total, he has a 7.05 ERA in school ball. As you mentioned, though, this summer he has been effective for the Copperheads. Donald Ring leads it off for the Scouts here in the ninth. 8-7 Southern Ohio over Xenia. The first pitch to Ring. Inside, high and tight, ball 1. Ring 1 for 2 with 2 walks today, so he's been on base 3 times. The 1-0 pitch, fouled off behind the plate, 1-1.
Ring just behind on that one, fouling it straight back. 3 guys coming to the plate this inning with the Scout leading just 1, all 3 a power threat with Donald Ring, Kyle Casserly, and Chris Ackerman.
The 1-1, ground ball towards second. Antonzik picks it up deep in the hole and makes the play. The Scouts are down to their final 2 outs, 1 away.
But a hot hitter coming to the plate in Kyle Casserly. Casserly has reached base all 4 times this game.
3 for 4. The 1 he reached on an error. 2 doubles, an RBI single for Cass. He bats from the left side against Krim. Krim sets the first pitch. Off speed, low, 1-0. The Scouts trailing the Southern Ohio Copperheads 8-7 here in the top of the ninth. The 1-0 pitch. Fastball high and away, 2-0. The winner of this game takes over sole possession of 3rd place in the Southern Division. The Jazz already winning today, so they would stay 2 back of the Jazz for a playoff spot. The pitch. Ground ball towards second. Antonzik deep in the hole. Makes the play. 2 away.
Yeah, and it looks like a defensive adjustment there for the Copperheads. They had Antonzik playing basically in the outfield.
Shallow right field.
And because of that, I think without that adjustment there, that could have been a hit for Kyle Casserly. So good job on the managerial side by Copperheads manager Philip Butler.
And it's all up to Chris Ackerman for the Scouts. Nobody on, 2 down. The first pitch, high, ball 1. Ackerman on the day, 0 for 4. He did reach base on a fielder's choice in the 5th inning. The 1-0 pitch. Grounded back toward Krim at the mound, and that'll do it for Xenia. The Copperheads get an 8-7 victory here in game number 1 of the doubleheader, and that is a shame if you're the Scouts. A 6-3 lead in the 5th inning, and the Copperheads come back. They score 5 in the final 4 and get an 8-7 victory. The Scouts fall to 15-16. The Copperheads go to 16-15, and the Scouts, honestly, in order to have a good chance at a playoff spot, they're going to have to get a win in game 2.
Yeah, a must win for the Scouts, and that game starting in about 20 minutes between these 2 clubs. So looks like Bubba Cates and Phil Butler both looking at their phones. They're setting up the time, and looks like we are going to step off for a little while as we get ready for this second ball game.
That is exactly what we will do. You will hear from us in about a half hour, as Andrew said. Just real quick, the final numbers from this game: 7 runs, 10 hits, 3 errors by the Scouts. They leave 7 on base. For the Copperheads, it is 8 runs on 11 hits, and the Copperheads leave 9 runners on base. And the Scouts fall 8-7 here at home. We'll be back half hour. The Scouts take on the Copperheads in Game 2. You're listening to Scouts Baseball on the Xenia Scouts Radio Network. We'll talk to you in a little bit.